Chapter 203. Perhaps only Lin Xian had the guts to snatch food between two harmonious spirit experts and a 7th-ranked demonic beast. According to the information I received, the thunder python has not started to shed its skin yet. It will probably take a few days. It's best if we can increase our strength to the next level. Lin Xian and Zhao Shui simply cultivated in the valley while waiting for the Tsang and Yang families to make their move. Holding the thunder grass in his hand, Lin Xian felt a surge of thunder energy. Just a few spiritual grasses have such power. I wonder how powerful the thunder source will be. Lin Xian was excited. As long as he could obtain the thunder source, his strength would increase again. Only then could he reduce the gap between him and Lin Feng. Thunder surged on his body as he began to absorb the power of the thunder grass. The blue thunder collided with the golden electric arcs in Lin Xian's body, creating a rumbling sound. The electric arcs scattered around like snakes, baring their fangs and brandishing their claws. Fine cracks appeared on the stone he was sitting on. Lin Xian's mind moved and the ice platform appeared under his feet. Sitting cross-legged on the ice platform, he closed his eyes and began to absorb the power of the thunder. After the time it took for an incense stick to burn, the thunder grass in Lin Xian's hand began to wither. The thunder energy on it was completely absorbed. He did not stop there. He immediately took out the second grass and continued to refine it. 2 hours later, the 5 thunder grasses were completely consumed. Lin Xian opened his eyes. Crackle. Following his awakening, a powerful aura gradually filled the air. Lightning snakes danced in the air, flying in all directions. With Lin Xian as the center, the area within 20 meters was like a sea of thunder. In the distance, Zhao Shui's face was filled with shock. How long had it been? Lin Xian's strength increased again. This guy, his speed of improvement is too fast. Zhao Shui muttered softly. She even suspected that Lin Xian was not a teenager at all, but had been possessed by an old man. Zhao Shui puts away the stone eyeball and prepares to get up. However, in the distance, Lin Xian sat down again. There. Zhao Shui was speechless. Don't tell me he wants to continue cultivating? What a freak. According to her estimation, Lin Xian must be a special existence in China. Even in the Shadow Country there were not many people like Lin Xian. There was a reason why Lin Xian sat down again. It was because Wine Lord wanted to teach him a body-tempering martial art. Thunder tattoo body, Lin Xian murmured, a trace of movement in his eyes. This Thundermark body is an Earth-tier martial skill. After mastering it, one will be invulnerable to swords and spears, water and fire. It can be said to be a body-refining precious skill. Wine Lord slowly said, there are a total of 3 realms. They are Copper Thunder Mark, Silver Thunder Mark and Gold Thunder Mark. With your current strength it would be good if you could master the Copper Thunder Mark. Lin Xian suppressed the joy in his heart and began to cultivate according to Wine Lord's teachings. According to Wine Lord, even this Copper Thunder Mark was equivalent to a high spirit tier body refining martial skill. Streaks of copper lightning appeared on the surface of his body, forming a strange thunder mark. The thunder mark flickered and quickly disappeared. Lin Xian simply abandoned his body and began to gather all the lightning on his right hand. The sea of lightning rolled and constantly attacked the meridians in his arm. At the same time, countless thunder marks formed on the surface of his body. Half a day later the lightning disappeared. A layer of copper patterns appeared on Lin Xian's right hand, emitting a powerful force. Putting away the ice platform, Lin Xian jumped to the ground and blasted the ground. With a loud sound, lightning spewed out and Lin Xian's entire arm faintly glowed. With a boom, his fist smashed into the ground, instantly creating a large hole. Terrifying cracks spread out in all directions like a spider web. The valley trembled as if an earthquake had occurred. Zhao Shui was awakened again and stared blankly ahead. With Lin Xian as the center, the ground within a 50-meter radius cracked into countless pieces of earth and caved in. The power of a single strike was so terrifying. Lin Xian revealed a satisfied smile. The copper thunder mark on his arm disappeared and he became no different from a normal person. Now, even a martial artist at the 4th sky of the spiritual sea realm wouldn't be able to block one of his punches. Lin Xian felt the energy in his body and was in a good mood. With a tap of his feet, he arrived in front of Zhao Shui. Let's go and check out the situation. Zhao Shui nodded blankly and followed behind Lin Xian. The two used their soul power to check out the surrounding terrain and planned out many escape routes. Moreover, they discovered that the Tsang and Yang families had set up arrays, presumably to control the thunder python. In the following days, Lin Xian and Zhao Shui were either cultivating in the valley or checking out the situation. In the blink of an eye, 5 days had passed. On Lin Xian's right arm, the thunder mark was even more concentrated. Now, with a single punch, he could shatter the ground within 70 meters. A martial artist at the fourth sky of the spiritual sea realm was nothing in front of him. Even a martial artist at the fifth sky of the spiritual sea realm might not be able to block one of his punches. Rumble, the sky darkened and countless black clouds floated by, gathering in the sky. In an instant, day turned into night. The black clouds pressed down on the mountains, making people feel stifled. Within the clouds, lightning flashed from time to time. As if a thunder dragon was rolling in the clouds, a terrifying aura spread out. Within 100 miles, all the demonic beasts were lying on the ground, trembling. Is it starting? Lin Xian looked at the sky and took a deep breath. Let's go. The two figures flashed and quickly left the valley. At the same time, the Tsang and Yang families started moving. Many martial artists stood in the array, waiting nervously. The Tsang family's head elder and Yang family's head both had solemn expressions, staring at the lightning in the sky and the figures in the cave. Boom! A bolt of lightning struck down like a heavenly blade, flattening the entire mountain. A terrifying sound spread out and countless rocks scattered in the air. Everyone's pupils constricted. It was too terrifying. In front of the vast power of heaven and earth, everything seemed so insignificant. The 1,000-meter-tall mountain was mostly shaved off, revealing the situation in the cave. 100-meter-long thunder python appeared in everyone's eyes. It was wrapped in blue electric arcs, its body constantly twisting as if in pain. Roar! In the sea of thunder, a roar came. It was like a dragon's roar, but also like thunder. Everyone felt their eardrums tremble and their blood roiled. The thunder beast's roar almost injured them. In the distance, 3 purple-robed men were running at high speed in Lin Xian. Suddenly, they stopped and raised their heads to look at the distant sky. There, dark clouds covered the sky and lightning flashed. The 3 of them were from the Purple Extreme Demon Palace. At this moment, they looked at each other. According to the display, the target is under the dark clouds. Let's go and take a look. The 3 of them turned into 3 streaks of purple light and rushed in the direction of the dark clouds. Under the dark clouds, the 100-meter-long thunder python roared again. Then a thin crack appeared on its head. Chapter 204. That aura was frightening. It had even surpassed the harmonious spirit realm. Fortunately, the thunder python was in a weakened state throughout the entire molting process and for a long period of time after. Otherwise, no one in the entire Xia kingdom would dare to have any ideas about it. The crack on the thunder python's head was getting bigger as if it was torn apart by an invisible force. Lin Xian's eyes flickered. With his excellent eye power, he could see that the new skin of the thunder python was very strange. Lightning flashed on it, making it look like a lightning lake. It is indeed a strange beast. Every time it metamorphoses, it will become stronger. Lin Xian praised in his heart. Humph, do you think metamorphosis is so easy? Wine Lord snorted. If you can't withstand the lightning tribulation, you will die. Demonic beasts were much more dangerous than humans. Lin Xian was speechless. He raised his head and looked at the thunderclouds in the sky. Rumble. As if responding to Wine Lord's words, a thunder as thick as a bucket struck down, splitting the sky in half. The huge lightning struck the thunder python's body as if it was going to destroy the world. The whole mountain was blasted apart, turning into a flat land. The 100-meter-long thunder python roared towards the sky. A layer of protective lightning appeared on its body. The warriors of the Tsang and Yang families quickly retreated, afraid that they would be affected. The 2 harmonious spirit realm warriors also had a cold expression. They were extremely nervous. Don't be distracted. Focus on comprehending the power of heaven and earth. Wine Lord shouted. Lin Xian's body trembled as he stared at the scene in front of him. Compared to the lightning tribulation, his lightning technique was like child's play. Lin Xian exerted his soul power to the extreme. He tried his best to capture every movement of the lightning tribulation and the thunder python. Zhao Shui saw this scene and her heart trembled violently. Everyone else was worried about their lives, but this guy was actually comprehending martial arts. She was not Lin Xian, so she did not dare to stay too close. She could only find a safe place to hide temporarily. Thunder fell faster and faster. In the end, several of them fell together, forming a curtain of lightning. The thunder python's entire head had finished its metamorphosis. Its house-sized head emitted a terrifying aura. Brr. It opened its mouth and spat out a bolt of lightning, which formed an electric net that covered the sky. The sky full of lightning struck the electric net, forming a terrifying shockwave. Lin Xian stared at the bolts of lightning one after another, feeling the violent aura within them and verifying it with his own martial arts. The speed at which the thunder python shed its skin was extremely slow. Everyone could only wait anxiously. When it had retreated halfway, 3 powerful auras suddenly came from behind the forest. Not good. Zhao Shui's expression changed drastically, and she quickly rushed to Lin Xian's side. They're from the Purple Extreme Devil Palace. Zhao Shui had no choice but to interrupt Lin Xian. Spreading out his soul power, Lin Xian sensed it and then his face sank. Now is not the time to expose ourselves. Come with me. Lin Xian's body swayed as he ran towards the thunder python. You're crazy. Zhao Shui was so scared that her face turned pale. Seeing that Lin Xian's figure was about to disappear, she could only grit her teeth and follow him. When they were 2,000 meters away from the thunder python, Lin Xian stopped and found a cave. Here, the pressure from the thunder above them was even greater. Zhao Shui followed behind Lin Xian in fear, not even daring to breathe. Wine Lord, can you temporarily weaken the mark on my body? Lin Xian asked. Perhaps you can try using the mysterious ice chi, Wine Lord said in a deep voice. Lin Xian turned his head and said to Zhao Shui, stay away from me. What? Zhao Shui didn't understand Lin Xian's meaning. However, she quickly retreated in fear. Lin Xian's body turned ashen in an instant, and a wave of cold air emitted from his body. Layers of blue ice formed on his body, and the cold air quickly spread, turning the entire cave into a world of ice and snow. So cold. Zhao Shui had no choice but to circulate all her spiritual energy. There was only one explanation for Lin Xian's change, and that was to suppress the mark in his body so that the Purple Extreme Demon Palace couldn't find it. Outside in the forest, 3 purple-robed martial artists suddenly frowned. The target's aura suddenly weakened, and the mark in his body was also weakened. One of the purple-robed martial artists said, could it be that he removed the mark? Another martial artist was puzzled. Impossible. Other than our Purple Extreme Demon Palace, no one can remove the mark. Stop guessing, let's go and take a look. The leading youth said in a deep voice. The 3 of them increased their speed and rushed over. Swish. A moment later, the 3 purple-robed martial artists arrived at a mountain peak. Seeing the distant thunder blade falling like a heavenly blade and the 100-meter-long lightning beast, the 3 of them trembled. What a terrifying thunder tribulation. It's actually a thunder python, and its outer skin is a top-grade thunder source. The 3 of them were burning with passion, and for a moment, they forgot to search for Lin Xian's location. In fact, the 3 of them couldn't be blamed. Even a harmonious spirit expert would covet it, let alone them. Let's confirm the target's location first. The leading youth calmed down and said in a deep voice. The eyes of the 2 behind him flashed as they began to sense. After a few breaths, the 2 of them shook their heads. We can only sense that he's nearby, but we can't confirm his exact location. It seems that he used some method to temporarily hide the mark. Another martial artist said. What should we do now? The 2 of them asked. Since the target is here, we'll wait here. The leading youth smiled evilly, not to mention there's such a top-grade thunder source. If we're lucky, we might be able to get one. At that time, we'll be rich. The other 2 were also excited, and the 3 of them stared at the thunder python in the distance. The Tsang family and the Yang family naturally discovered the purple-robed martial artists. The Tsang family's head elder and the Yang family's head both sent out a group of people to clear the area. The 2 groups of people, each led by a martial artist at the 6th sky of Spirit Sea Realm, quickly approached the purple-robed martial artists and surrounded the 3 of them. Where did this trash come from? Get lost. The Tsang family's disciple shouted coldly. You 3, since you've discovered the secret, then die. The Yang family's people also had a murderous look. The 2 groups of people quickly attacked. At such a crucial moment, they didn't want any accidents to happen. Thunder and lightning surged and sword chi crisscrossed. Plop, plop. In the blink of an eye, more than half of the Tsang family and Yang family's disciples fell. Those people's faces were filled with fear, and their eyes were wide open as if they had seen something terrifying. What? The 2 martial artists at the 6th sky of Spirit Sea Realm were shocked, and stared at the 3 purple-robed martial artists cautiously. Who are you people? They didn't even see how the purple-robed martial artists attacked. It's an eye technique. The Yang family's martial artist cried out, his expression very grave. The Tsang family's martial artist's body shook. He discovered that the 3 purple-robed martial artists' eyes were suffused with a purple light, which was abnormally demonic. Die for me. The Tsang family's martial artist at the sixth sky of Spirit Sea realm punched out. Rich spirit power surged, condensing into a thunder tiger that pounced at the three people with bared fangs and brandished claws. You two deal with the other one, the leading youth said coldly. The three people's bodies swayed, narrowly avoiding the attack. Chapter 205. Purple light flashed, and a vortex appeared in the purple-clothed youth's eyes, looking extremely demonic. The Tsang family's martial artist at the sixth layer of the spiritual ocean realm stiffened, and confusion appeared in his eyes. His expression was one of struggle as if he was drowning. A purple light lit up, and the purple-clothed youth waved his long saber, splitting the Tsang family's martial artist in half. On the other side, the Yang family's martial artist's eyes also bulged, and he fell down unwillingly. Humph, a bunch of trash. A purple-clothed man sneered. Tsang family's head elder and Yang family's head both saw this scene. Their expressions changed drastically as they stared at the three purple-robed men, seemingly thinking about something. Could it be Shadow Country's Purple Extreme Demon Palace? Tsang family's head elder said in a low voice. Call everyone back and don't provoke those three. For a moment, both families issued the same order. This action was tacitly acknowledging the existence of the three purple-clothed men. It seemed that in their eyes, Purple Extreme Demon Palace was not to be provoked. Lin Xian and Zhao Shui, who were hiding in the cave, also sensed this scene. Lin Xian's entire body was covered in ice, and no changes could be seen. But Zhao Shui's expression was very ugly. A martial artist at the sixth layer of the spiritual ocean realm was easily dealt with, so how powerful were those three people? In the sky, lightning kept falling and it was getting more and more intense. Half of the thunder python's skin had already peeled off, and new leather armor circulated with lightning, shining brightly. He spat out a thunder curtain, blocking the lightning in the sky. Even so, it was still heavily injured. The lower half of its body was charred black and there were bloody holes in some places. Lightning jumped on it, crazily tearing open the wounds. Hong long long, the lightning in the sky kept striking down, and the surroundings became a sea of lightning. The thunder python's body rolled and its long tail twitched, creating deep pits in the ground. On its head, a protrusion gradually grew like a horn. It evolved. Everyone was shocked, staring blankly at this scene. That protrusion kept growing, and finally became a silver horn about half a meter long. Although it looked weak, the presence on it seemed to be able to crush everything. Like a thunder sword, it was going to pierce the sky. Rumble. The dark clouds in the sky churned and spun continuously, forming a huge black vortex. From the center of the vortex, a silver arc of electricity appeared. As soon as the silver lightning arc appeared, the sky seemed to be unable to withstand it and was about to split open. Boom. Silver lightning descended, illuminating half of the sky. The surrounding mountain peaks were all shattered, and violent winds blew within 1,000 meters. The momentum was extremely terrifying. The thunder python was the first to bear the brunt of the attack. It let out a miserable cry as it was struck by the silver flash. The whole process lasted for the time it took for an incense stick to burn before it slowly disappeared. Everyone sucked in a breath of cold air. They were worried. This level of lightning was very likely to cause everything below to cease to exist. He couldn't have been struck to death, right? Everyone from the Tsang family was puzzled. It's even better if he's dead. As long as the thunder source is still here, we won't have come here in vain. The Tsang family's great elder clenched his fists. The huge whirlpool in the sky slowly dissipated. The black clouds drifted away and the sky returned to normal. Everyone impatiently looked forward and saw the 100-meter-long thunder python weakly raising its head in the ruins. Its silver horn was shining brightly. Everyone's heart tightened. They then looked at the old skin that was peeling off. In the ruins, there was a large piece of shining scales that looked like blue crystals. Great, it's fine. Everyone was obviously relieved when they saw that the thunder source was fine. However, in the next moment, the weak thunder python opened its mouth and bit the outer skin that was peeling off. Attack. The Tsang family and Yang family ordered at the same time. Everyone rushed forward. The three purple-clothed warriors also turned into three purple lights and rushed toward the thunder python. Zhao Shui was a little worried. She didn't move but looked at Lin Xian instead. Crack, crack. The cold energy on Lin Xian's body weakened a little. The ice and snow on his head had already melted. Let them fight first. It's not that easy to get the thunder source. Lin Xian said in a low voice. And Zhao Shui nodded. Then she carefully probed the area. The two harmonious spirit experts from the Tsang family and the Yang family were at the forefront. They flew in the sky, their powerful aura sweeping across the area. Set up the formation. The Tsang family's great elder and the Yang family's patriarch shouted at the same time. Boom. Bang. On the ground, hundreds of warriors quickly set up the formation. A terrifying aura spread out. On the Tsang family's side, the six-star lightning formation flashed. A 50-meter-long thunder bird flew out from the formation and screeched toward the sky. On the other side, the Yang family's people waved their flags. Countless heat waves surged and the ground shook. A stone man covered in fire stood up from the ground. Brr. The thunder python roared. Lightning overflowed from its body, shattering everything around it. The three behemoths looked at each other with hostility. Then they started to attack. The thunder python's mountain-like tail whipped at the stone man covered in fire. Its big mouth bit at the thunderbird in the sky. The three of them collided like a meteor hitting the ground, creating an earth-shattering sound. The whole forest was trembling. Lightning and fire intertwined, forming three light pillars that shot up to the sky. The warriors who were controlling the formation trembled and vomited blood. At this moment, the two harmonious spirit experts started to attack. A big hand with lightning dancing on it grabbed at the thunder crystal beside the thunder python. On the other side, a long spear turned into a fire dragon and stabbed out. Brr. The thunder python felt the danger and stood up. It had just gone through a lightning tribulation and was very weak. However, these despicable humans were not only strong, they could also set up a formation. The silver horn on its head suddenly rotated with silver light, forming circles of lightning runes. A silver-white energy ball appeared on the horn. It gradually grew bigger until it was the size of a millstone. A trace of aura like a lightning tribulation spread out, causing everyone's heart to beat faster. Bang! The thunder python's huge head turned. A beam of light burst out from the huge energy ball. It was like a lightning blade sweeping across everything. Boom! The thunderbird in the sky had one of its wings cut off. The stone man covered in fire was cut in half at the waist. The two harmonious spirit realm warriors ran away as fast as they could. However, the warriors on the ground were not so lucky. They were all submerged in the lightning. Bastard, you are courting death. The great elder of the Tsang family and the head of the Yang family were furious. The warriors on the ground were the elites of their families. Some of them were very young and some of them had great potential. They were all talented people who could be the pillars of their families. But now they were all dead. The spirit energy in their bodies surged as they attacked the thunder python fiercely. Old Yang, let's kill this bastard together. The great elder of the Tsang family gritted his teeth. He had decided to join forces with the Yang family. All right. The head of the Yang family was surrounded by flames. His long spear was like a long blade. The battle broke out. The two men and the beast fought together, overturning the whole forest. The ice on Lin Xian's body disappeared. His aura surged and his eyes flashed. Chapter 206. Tsang family's great elder and Yang family's patriarch were really angry this time. They attacked the thunder python crazily. The fire-red long spear and the huge thunder palm covered the sky, hitting the thunder python's body with a buzzing sound. The thunder python felt the pain and counterattacked. At the same time, it swung its thick tail like a mountain. Large amounts of thunder crystals were scattered on the ground. Tsang family's great elder and Yang family's patriarch attacked at the same time. Boom! The thunder python's skin was broken and scattered in all directions. Looking at the torn thunder crystal, Lin Xian's eyes were burning with passion. Hide yourselves well. Lin Xian instructed before dashing out at top speed. Behind him, Zhao Shui gritted her teeth and chose to stay in the cave. Although the thunder crystal was a good thing, it was too dangerous outside. Not only were there harmonious spirit realm experts, there were also people from the Purple Extreme Demon Palace. Moreover, Zhao Shui was not a lightning-attributed martial artist. Although the thunder crystal was precious, it was not as precious as her life. Lin Xian sensed that Zhao Shui did not follow him, but he was not surprised. He transmitted his voice, "If there is danger, leave first." After saying that, he spread out his soul force and carefully checked the surroundings. He quickly rushed out. At the same time, there were 3 other martial artists in purple robes. They did not stay together but ran towards a thunder crystal separately. Humph! I'll deal with you first. Lin Xian used the wind thunder step and followed the weakest martial artist. Among the ruins there was a thunder python's skin the size of a table. It was crystal clear like a sapphire. A martial artist in purple robes carefully avoided the harmonious spirit realm experts in the sky and quietly approached. In the sky, Song family's great elder and Yang family's patriarch were entangled by the thunder python and could not be distracted. "Go get the thunder crystal," they said to the disciples who were still alive. Originally there were more than 100 people in the team, but now there were only 20 people left. They all ran towards the thunder crystal. "Die." The martial artist in purple robes sneered. Purple light flashed in his eyes and controlled the 3 martial artists who were close to him. He then slashed his palm and 3 heads flew out. Swoosh. As soon as he finished, he felt a cold killing intent behind him. Whoosh. Twisting his body, the purple-clothed martial artist forcibly moved 3 meters to the left. He suddenly turned his head with a disdainful smile on his face. "Humph, you want to play with me?" His expression changed because there was no one behind him. Oof. A sharp blade pierced through his heart. Golden lightning surged and destroyed all the vitality in his body. He tried his best to turn his head around to see who it was. Unfortunately, he only saw a slender hand take away his storage ring. Then he blacked out and lost consciousness. Lin Xian pulled out the Autumn Scar sword. Blood flowed down the edge of the sword, but there was not a single trace of blood left on the blade. He took off the purple-robed man's purple robe and put it on himself. Then he quickly put away the table-sized thunder python skin. This piece of thunder python skin was relatively small and in a remote location, so not many people paid attention to it. Therefore Lin Xian's first attack went very smoothly. His entire body was hidden in the purple robe. His body floated like a ghost as he rushed toward another purple-robed man. Boom! A huge handprint appeared in front of him, creating a bottomless pit in the ground. Lin Xian's forehead was covered in cold sweat. He looked forward with a pale face. The other purple-robed man killed a few Song family disciples and put away a door-sized piece of thunder python skin into his storage ring. This whole process was seen by the head elder of the Song family in the sky. He immediately struck out a palm and killed the purple-robed man. The head elder of the Song family waved his hand, and the storage ring of the dead purple-robed man quickly flew toward him. A fiery red spear light flashed past, cutting off the connection between the storage ring and the head elder. Immediately the storage ring fell to the ground. "Yang Tian." The head elder of the Song family roared in anger. "Hee, we are only temporarily working together. You don't really think that we are on the same side, do you?" The leader of the Yang family grabbed the storage ring in his hand with a smile on his face. "Get lost." 100-meter-long palms slapped out, covering the leader of the Yang family. Suddenly, countless lightning bolts fell. "Break." The leader of the Yang family's spear was like a rainbow. Countless spear lights pierced through the palm in the sky. Roar. The thunder python demonic beast was not to be outdone. Silver lightning flashed on its tail, forming a long electric saw that slashed at the 2 of them. The battle became more intense. The surviving leader of the purple-robed men kept dodging and quickly came to the front of a 10-meter-long thunder python skin. A sinister smile appeared on his face and he quickly struck. Boom. A 100-meter-long spear light flew from the sky at extreme speed. The leader of the purple-robed men's eyes flashed with purple light, and he quickly retreated. A 1,000-meter-long crack appeared at the place where he was originally standing. The purple-robed young man's face was gloomy. He did not dare to strike again but looked gloomily at the sky. Obviously this spear was a warning. However, he would not give up. Whoosh. Lin Xian came near with his purple robe draped over him. At this time, no one would be suspicious and no one would pay attention to him. "Help me attract their attention. I will go and get the thunder crystal," the purple-robed young man said coldly. Lin Xian nodded and quickly rushed forward. In an instant he arrived near the crack. In the blink of an eye he went straight for the thunder python skin. A cold snort sounded in the sky, like a sudden clap of thunder. "Don't think that I won't dare to kill someone from the Purple Demon Palace." The spear light flew out like a dragon emerging from the sea, piercing towards Lin Xian. When the Yang family head took the initiative, Lin Xian began to dodge. After all, he did not really want to take the thunder python skin. Boom, boom, boom. The spear light roared and pierced into the ground, forming a 10-meter-wide crater. As for Lin Xian, he was only 3 meters away from the crater. Cold sweat flowed down his face. If he had been a little slower, he would have died here. When Lin Xian made his move, the purple-robed young man also moved quickly. When the Yang family head attacked Lin Xian, the purple-robed young man quickly ran for the thunder python skin. Whoosh! Finally, he succeeded this time. Go. He called out to Lin Xian and ran into the distance. Courting death. In the sky, the Yang family head and Song family head both launched terrifying attacks. However, the two of them were restrained by the Thunder Python and were wary of each other. Their attacks were not strong and their accuracy was not high. On the contrary, Lin Xian and the purple rogue young man were soul force experts, and they had been paying attention to the movements in the sky. Thus, they managed to avoid the attack by a hair's breadth. Seeing the two of them leave, the Song family head and Yang family head did not chase after them. After all, that was only a small piece. The real head was still beside the Thunder Python. The Thunder Python seemed to understand their thoughts. Its silver eyes turned, and it suddenly turned its head, biting down on the remaining Thunder Python's skin. Crack. The 80-meter-long Thunder Python skin was reduced by half. Evil beast, you are courting death. Chapter 207. The purple rogue youth snatched a thunder crystal and immediately fled. Lin Xian followed closely behind. In the blink of an eye, the two of them were far away from the battlefield. We didn't come in vain this time. Wait for us. Before he could finish, Lin Xian suddenly attacked. The great dragon sword intent surged and a shocking killing intent surged. A sword ray flashed past like a shooting star, extremely dazzling. Ding. Off. The purple rogue youth's expression changed and he immediately dodged. The sword ray flashed and slashed across his chest, stabbing his arm. He was wearing an inner armor which barely blocked Lin Xian's sword. However, the sword pierced his arm. With a puff, his right arm broke and blood gushed out uncontrollably. Lin Xian's palm sucked and removed the broken arm, quickly removing the storage ring on it. The purple rogue youth was heavily injured. He quickly sealed his broken arm and stared at Lin Xian. Purple light flashed in his eyes as if he had suddenly discovered something. So you're the target we've been looking for. His voice carried a trace of gloom. Good. Very good. The purple rogue youth panted. It's been a long time since anyone dared to offend our purple demon palace. Purple demon purgatory. He suddenly shouted and the purple light in his eyes intensified, enveloping Lin Xian. In the next moment, the surrounding scene changed drastically. Mountains of corpses and rivers of blood. There was killing everywhere just like hell. 5 crimson chains flew towards Lin Xian, wanting to bind him. Enter my spiritual space. I'll torture you to death. The purple rogue youth's face was hideous, like a demon. Devouring bugs. Countless bugs swarmed towards Lin Xian's body, gnawing at his soul. Slowly enjoy the pain of your soul. I'll kill you bit by bit. The purple rogue youth's soul appeared in the spiritual space. Swish. Sword rays surged and the bugs on Lin Xian's body were cut into pieces. Clang. The chains binding Lin Xian broke. What? The purple rogue youth was shocked, his face filled with disbelief. Impossible, this is impossible. This is my spiritual space, how can you escape? He didn't believe that he was the master of this spiritual space. Unless the other party's soul power far exceeded his, they would not be able to break through his spiritual space. However, he had sensed that Lin Xian's soul power was not as strong as his. Nothing is impossible. It's just that you're too inexperienced. Lin Xian sneered. A translucent sword chi surged out from his body and slashed at the purple rogue young man's soul. Sword of Souls. How do you know the Sword of Souls? The purple rogue youth was completely terrified. This kind of method was too terrifying. Even in the purple extreme devil palace, there were few who knew how to use it. Buff, buff. The soul sword slashed down and soon destroyed the purple rogue young man's soul. Whoosh. With a thought, Lin Xian returned to his body. All of this happened in an instant. The purple rogue youth's body was still there, but his soul had already been destroyed. With a flick of his finger, a bolt of lightning shot out and circled around the purple rogue youth's body before exploding. Lin Xian heaved a sigh of relief. He had obtained more than 10 meters of lightning python skin, but he still felt that it was not enough. Cultivating the lightning rune body required a large amount of lightning source. This was a rare opportunity. You still want to go? Wine Lord transmitted his voice. Let's go and take a look. Lin Xian nodded. His body turned into a ray of light and returned the way he came. The Tsang family Grand Elder and the Yang family head attacked crazily, causing the lightning python's injuries to worsen. It attacked with its horn again and a silver lightning beam swept past the two. The Tsang family Grand Elder and the Yang family head coughed up blood and were in a sorry state. One more time. The Tsang family Grand Elder circulated his spiritual energy to the extreme and flew out like lightning. On the other side, the Yang family head merged with his spear, leaving a 1,000-meter-long tail of light in the air. Boom. Bang. The two arrived in front of the lightning python, grabbed the remaining lightning python skin and tore it apart. Rip. The Tsang family Grand Elder obtained about 20 meters of lightning python skin, and the Yang family head also obtained a piece. With the items in their hands, the two did not stop and ran into the distance. Roar. The demonic beast lightning python was obviously angry. That was its old skin and its food. Now it was taken away by the despicable humans and it was even seriously injured. Lightning surged on its body, and silver lightning arcs intertwined and gathered at the silver horn on its head. Whoosh. A lightning beam shot out from the horn, shooting straight into the sky. Clouds and mist surged, rolling and churning. The sky darkened for a moment, and two huge vortexes formed high up in the sky. Rumble. Silver light flashed, and two thick lightning bolts shot out from the whirlpools, striking the Tsang family Grand Elder and the Yang family head respectively. Boom. 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 Lightning flashed between heaven and earth, and terrifying energy spread in all directions. Two screams sounded and the air trembled. When the lightning dissipated, the clothes of the two men in the sky were torn, their hair was disheveled, and blood was spurting out from their chests. The Tsang family Grand Elder quickly flew into the distance. Lin Xian's eyes flashed and he quietly followed him. He could clearly see the situation in the sky through his purple spirit eyes. The Tsang family Grand Elder's body was flying up and down, obviously unable to control his speed. Looks like this old man is seriously injured. Lin Xian was delighted. Little Xian, a harmonious spirit expert, is not something you can deal with right now. Even if he is seriously injured, you can't kill him. Don't worry, Wine Lord. I don't want to kill him yet. I just want to get the lightning crystal. Lin Xian transmitted. His whereabouts? Lin Xian's eyes flashed and he couldn't help but speed up. The Tsang family's great elder's injuries were indeed not light. Originally he was already injured, but after being struck by lightning, his injuries became even more serious. The loss this time is too great. The Tsang family Grand Elder's face was gloomy. All the elites he brought were dead, and he only managed to get 20 meters of lightning crystal. I hope these lightning python skins can help me reach the mid-harmonious spirit realm. A trace of expectation appeared in his heart. Chi. A sword chi suddenly rushed forward, slashing towards his chest. The Tsang family Grand Elder coldly snorted, and with a light grab of his palm, he extinguished the sharp sword chi. Get out here now. He shouted loudly, his voice shaking the surroundings. Lin Xian sighed. A harmonious spirit expert was indeed powerful. Even if he was injured, he was still not someone a Sea of Soul Realm warrior could handle. Swoosh. Lin Xian's body swayed and he stood out. Purple Extreme Devil Palace. The Tsang family Grand Elder's pupils shrank when he saw the purple-robed man in front of him. I'll give you one chance, get out of here now. Otherwise, don't blame this old man for starting a massacre. The Tsang family Grand Elder's voice was cold. Unless it was absolutely necessary, he wouldn't provoke the Purple Extreme Devil Palace. Old bastard. Lin Xian snorted in his heart. He flipped his palm, and a yellowed talisman treasure appeared in his hand. A yellow sword light slashed out like a rainbow. Wherever it passed, the void trembled as if it was about to split open. This sword caused the surroundings to change color. Chapter 208. The power of this sword was close to the peak of Sea of Soul Realm, far beyond Lin Xian's strength. However, it was still not enough to face the Tsang family's great elder. Try to use your soul power to deal with him. Wine Lord transmitted his voice. Lin Xian nodded. Purple light flashed in his eyes, and a strange inscription appeared in his right eye. His left eye turned into a sword-shaped inscription. Soul Cage. Soul Sword. Lin Xian used all the soul techniques he knew. At the same time he took out his bronze gauntlet and attacked again. This series of actions happened in an instant. It could be said that all these attacks hit the Tsang family's great elder at the same time. Normally the Tsang family's great elder wouldn't care about these attacks, but now that he was injured, his strength was affected. Moreover, there was a strange soul attack, so he had to be careful. He snorted coldly and a dazzling light quickly appeared on his body, covering his whole body. Different from the spirit armor formed by Sea of Soul Realm warriors, the light screen formed by a harmonious spirit expert far surpassed the former in both range and degree of defense. Bang, bang, bang. The sword light and the bronze light hit the dazzling light screen, creating ripples. However, the soul attack went straight through. The Tsang family's great elder let out a muffled groan. He was in a trance, but as a harmonious spirit expert, his soul power was not ordinary. Lin Xian's attack only caused him to be in a trance, but it didn't cause any substantial damage. Powerful indeed. Lin Xian sighed in his heart. He had used almost all of his techniques, but he still couldn't hurt the great elder. Whoosh. The great elder waved his hand, and a big hand made of lightning fell down. Swoosh. Lin Xian used his extreme speed to dodge the attack. However, the purple robe on his body was torn apart. Little bastard, it's you. The Tsang family's grand elder's face twisted when he saw Lin Xian. Old man, it's me. Lin Xian laughed coldly. Was he surprised? Little thief, you can't hurt me. The Tsang family's great elder gritted his teeth and said, Today, I'll use you as a sacrifice to my Tsang family's disciples. Lightning surged from his hand, forming a lightning chain that rattled in the air. Whoosh. 3 lightning chains formed a triangle and flew out quickly, binding Lin Xian. Ah! The Tsang family's great elder laughed. Little thing, let me see what secrets you have. With a flick of his wrist, the lightning chain brought Lin Xian back. The Tsang family's grand elder was delighted. Lin Xian had many secrets on him, such as that golden lightning. Even his heart was moved. With the golden lightning, I will definitely be able to enter the mid-harmonious spirit realm. He grabbed Lin Xian with one hand. A mocking smile appeared on Lin Xian's face. Little thing, you dare to laugh at me? I'll let you have a taste of the harmonious spirit realm. Before he could finish his words, the Tsang family's great elder's body suddenly trembled. He felt an inexplicable coldness. Ka. A trace of blue gas was emitted from Lin Xian's body, emitting a strange cold energy. In a flash, the Tsang family's great elder's arm was covered with a thick layer of ice, and this cold energy quickly spread to every part of his body. Whoosh. Lin Xian's sword intent surged, forming an invisible sword energy that cut off the lightning chain. His body quickly retreated. The Tsang family's great elder didn't pay attention to Lin Xian. He was in big trouble. This cold chi not only froze his body, but also froze the spirit energy and soul in his body. This little thief, how can he have this kind of thing? He was irritated and kept urging his spirit energy to resist the cold energy. Seeing that the mysterious ice chi couldn't freeze the Tsang family's great elder, Lin Xian frowned. He still underestimated the power of a harmonious spirit realm warrior. He waved his autumn scar sword, and the power of wind and thunder formed a sharp wind thunder spike, hitting the Tsang family's great elder. Ding ding. The autumn scar sword emitted a burst of sparks, as if it had hit an iron wall. So hard. Lin Xian clenched his teeth. The Tsang family's great elder was trying his best to resist the coldness in his body, and didn't have the extra energy to care about Lin Xian. Lin Xian's previous attack could only leave a shallow mark on his body. Although it didn't affect his body, it still made him extremely angry. An ant in the 4th level of the spiritual ocean realm dared to be disrespectful to him. What are you looking at? Lin Xian couldn't do anything to him and was extremely frustrated. Fuck, still looking. Lin Xian raised his leg and kicked the Tsang family's great elder's face. Instantly, a shoe print appeared on that old face. Fuck, so thick-skinned? Lin Xian already hated the Tsang family to the bone, and this time he could finally take revenge. Clang clang clang. He kept raising his feet, leaving shoe prints on the Tsang family's great elder's face. Although it couldn't hurt him, this feeling was too good. This scene was seen by Zhao Shui, who had just arrived. Her small mouth opened into an O shape, and her pair of beautiful eyes were wide open. Heavens, what is Lin Xian doing? He dared to kick a harmonious spirit realm warrior, and it's a crazy kick. You're here. Lin Xian once again stepped on the Tsang family's great elder's face, and he even used some strength. Ah! The Tsang family's great elder felt like his lungs were about to explode, and his old face turned purple. How many years had it been? Ever since he became a harmonious spirit realm warrior, no one dared to be disrespectful to him. But now, a trash that he regarded as an ant dared to treat him like this. Little bastard, when I catch you, I will break all the bones in your body and torture you to death bit by bit. Clang. Lin Xian kicked again. How dare you threaten this young master? Not good, retreat quickly. Wine Lord suddenly transmitted his voice. Lin Xian's body swayed, and he immediately pulled Zhao Shui to retreat. Boom. Within 10 meters, countless lightning bolts surged and danced crazily, shattering everything. When the lightning disappeared, a terrifying crater appeared on the ground. Everything in the surroundings was scorched, emitting a burnt smell. The Tsang family's great elder's attack was immediately invaded by the profound ice chi, and half of his body was frozen. "Old man, you still dare to fight back at this moment?" Lin Xian was very angry. He was almost injured just now. Thinking about how the Tsang family tried to assassinate him several times and wanted his life, he felt a burst of anger. "You brought this upon yourself. I have no enmity with you, but your Tsang family tried to kill me several times. Humph. In this world, the strong are respected. You don't deserve to have those treasures." The Tsang family's great elder's lips moved slightly. "The strong are respected?" Lin Xian laughed. Slap. He raised his hand and slapped him fiercely. "Fuck the strong." Lin Xian growled. "Among my peers, no one in your Tsang family can defeat me. You're an old man who has lived for hundreds of years, but you still fell into my hands." In an instant, he slapped the Tsang family's great elder's face hundreds of times. "One day I will personally go to your Tsang family and uproot you." Lin Xian did not attack again. He looked at the storage ring. Unfortunately, the Tsang family's great elder clenched his fist and could not take it out. "If I can't have it, I can't let you have it either." Lin Xian's heart was filled with hatred. He placed the bronze gauntlet on the storage ring and quickly retreated. Boom. Chapter 209. As the green light dissipated, 100-meter deep pit appeared on the ground. In the center of the pit, the Tsang family's great elder sat with a gloomy expression. Half of his body was covered in azure mystic ice chi, while the other half was lightning spirit power. The two were resisting each other. On his right hand, the storage ring on his index finger cracked. This was an intermediate storage ring with a space of 100 square meters. Its value was even more expensive than a spirit rank martial art. But now it was broken. The Tsang family's great elder's eyes burned with anger. He wished he could tear Lin Xian into countless pieces. 2 hours later, the mystic ice chi on his body disappeared. "Ah, little bastard, get out here." His voice was like a sea of thunder that rolled out. It could be heard clearly within 100 miles. However, he couldn't sense Lin Xian's existence at all. Whoosh! The Tsang family's great elder turned into a stream of light and flew through the mountains. Any mountain that he found suspicious was smashed with a palm. In an instant, more than a dozen mountains were flattened. However, Lin Xian never appeared. The Tsang family's great elder madly vented in the sky. The terrifying energy didn't dissipate for a long time. Lin Xian and Zhao Shui had already escaped the forest and rushed towards the fire province. A day later, the two arrived at the border of the fire province. After entering the fire province, the two heaved a sigh of relief. They could feel the Tsang family's great elders' roar and terrifying venting. If they were caught, one could imagine what would happen. In the fire province, the air was hot and dry. It was as if there was a huge furnace barbecuing. In fact, it was almost the same. The fire province had many volcanoes and fire veins underground, causing the climate here to be very hot. Lin Xian was wearing a blue robe. He had mystic ice chi in his body, so it wasn't very hot. As for Zhao Shui, she changed into a cool short-sleeved shirt. Her jade-like arms were exposed, causing people to daydream. Lin Xian came to an uninhabited volcano and prepared to go into seclusion. He wanted to refine the thunder crystal to stimulate the cultivation of the copper thunder mark. After digging a human-shaped cave, Lin Xian went in. He released the little white monkey and had it and Zhao Shui stand guard outside. After setting up the defenses in the cave, Lin Xian flipped his palm and a table-sized thunder python skin appeared in his hand. It was about a foot thick, like pieces of sapphires pieced together. Lin Xian touched it lightly with his finger and felt a strong power of thunder and lightning. Grabbing the thunder python skin with both hands, Lin Xian began to cultivate the copper thunder pattern. This time he wanted to cultivate his left hand. Strands of pure thunder power surged out from the thunder python skin. Its aura was extremely terrifying. This power was much stronger than the thunder grass. Ka-ka-ka. Terrifying cracks appeared on the surrounding mountain walls from the overflowing lightning, as if they had been hacked by swords and sabers. The blue lightning covered Lin Xian's left hand, and a violent energy instantly rushed into his body. It was like a mad dragon that was rampaging through his body. Suppress. Lin Xian's eyes narrowed. Golden electric arcs came out of his body and formed a lightning chain, trapping the violent power of thunder and lightning. At the same time, he used the thunder pattern body secret technique and used the power of thunder and lightning to continuously temper his body. As time passed, the power of thunder and lightning weakened. The thunder python skin gradually dimmed, and cracks appeared in some places. However, Lin Xian's left arm was getting stronger and stronger. It was as if a shocking power was awakening. Feeling the power in his left arm, Lin Xian nodded slightly. He separated some thunder and lightning and tempered his right arm again. A 1-meter-long crack appeared on the table-sized thunder python skin, causing it to break in half. Lin Xian knew that this was because the power of thunder and lightning inside had been exhausted. He exerted a little force with both hands, and the thunder python skin in his hand turned into powder. With a thought, the power of thunder and lightning flowed quickly on his arm. It faintly emitted a blue light as if thousands of thunder were roaring. Continue to cultivate. Lin Xian was overjoyed. He took out the thunder python skin that was more than 10 meters long. Next is my legs. Lin Xian followed the instructions. After 2 hours, his legs also emitted the light of thunder and lightning. At this moment, more than half of the thunder python skin was left. He continued to absorb the power of thunder and lightning. When the last piece of skin on his body was covered by the thunder pattern, a rumbling sound came from his body. An unusually comfortable feeling flowed through Lin Xian's body. Lin Xian's face was full of enjoyment, and he almost snorted out loud. At this moment, the thunder python skin in his hand had completely shattered. Lin Xian's body swayed and he appeared outside the cave. Wuji wuji. When the little white monkey saw Lin Xian, it jumped directly onto his shoulder. Lin Xian was slightly surprised. This little monkey actually ignored his power of thunder and lightning. However, Zhao Shui was not so lucky. She was oppressed by Lin Xian's aura and her face turned pale. Lin Xian roared at the sky and punched out. The mountain rocks shattered and the 100-meter-tall mountain peak was smashed. Zhao Shui covered her mouth in shock. This kind of strength was probably very close to the 7th layer of the spiritual ocean tier. And Lin Xian's cultivation was only at the 4th layer of the spiritual ocean tier. Not bad, it wasn't in vain that I risked my life to snatch it, Lin Xian said with a smile. Let's go. I need a fire attribute spirit fruit. I don't know if Fire Province has it. The two hurried and arrived at a nearby city. Flame City. The entire city wall was built with fiery red stones, emitting a shocking heat. Lin Xian and Zhao Shui found an inn and stayed. They had been on the move these few days and their bodies and minds were somewhat tired. Lin Xian relaxed his mind and had a good sleep. The next day he woke up naturally. Feeling his entire body brimming with energy, his body already recovered to its peak state. Pushing open the door, Lin Xian walked downstairs, preparing to eat breakfast. His gaze swept and found Zhao Shui, but his brows furrowed slightly. In a place near the inside of the hall on the 1st floor, Zhao Shui sat quietly. But beside her were several youths, surrounding her with shining eyes. The few people's expressions rippled, not knowing what they were talking about. Lin Xian sighed and walked over. He had long sensed that Zhao Shui was different. Chapter 210. The young man's face was pale and his eyes were unfocused. It was obvious that he was addicted to wine and women. Even so, he was still at the 4th level of the spiritual ocean realm, which meant that his identity was not ordinary. His 5 fingers formed into claws with flames dancing on them, and he grabbed at the little white monkey. Wuji wuji. The little white monkey looked at him with disdain, and with a swoosh, it disappeared. When it reappeared, it had already jumped onto the young man's face, waving its claws and scratching wildly. Chi-chi. In an instant, countless bloody scars appeared on the young man's face. It was a horrible sight. Ah! He suddenly retracted his hand and screamed in pain. The little white monkey jumped back onto Lin Xian's shoulder in a flash. Wuji wuji. The little monkey pointed at them as if warning them not to provoke it. So fast. The surrounding martial artists were alarmed, and they looked at Lin Xian and the others in shock. How dare he provoke the people of Xing Manor? This young man is going to be unlucky. Someone shook his head and sighed. Ah, my face, my face. The young man covered his face and screamed. Give me a mirror. The attendant beside him immediately took out a silver mirror and said with a trembling voice, young master, cut the fucking crap. Hurry up and give it to me. The young man screamed and snatched the mirror. In the mirror, his face was like a field that had been plowed. It was a horrible sight. Ah, how dare you ruin my face? I'll kill you. The young man screamed crazily, but he did not dare to attack. Behind him, the attendant was also glaring at him angrily. The others looked at Lin Xian coldly. Kid, how dare you hurt Xing Manor's young master Xing Tong? I think you're tired of living. At this moment, Zhao Shui spoke slowly. Young masters, I'm really sorry. Her voice was like a spring breeze, causing ripples in everyone's hearts. Don't worry, beautiful lady. This has nothing to do with you. We can all testify. The other young men patted their chests and said. The young man who was captured looked at Zhao Shui and said, as long as you're willing to spend a night with me, I'll let this kid go. Otherwise just wait for your deaths. Lin Xian smiled but didn't say anything. Although Zhao Shui looked weak, she was also a decisive person. Otherwise, she wouldn't have been able to survive the Purple Extreme Devil Palace's pursuit for so long. Sure enough, after hearing this, Zhao Shui's smile deepened. Her eyes were like water as she took a deep look at the young man who was caught. Xing Tong's scratched face suddenly glowed red like a ripe apple. Hot, so hot. He tore off his clothes and pounced on the body of the young man beside him. His hands roamed around and his mouth was full of kisses. Fuck you, pervert. That disciple sent Xing Tong flying with a slap and tidied up his clothes. The other youths also felt a chill run down their spines. They didn't expect Xing Tong to actually like this. Damn it, I was wondering why the way he looked at me the other day was weird. As if possessed, Xing Tong pounced on the servant behind him and kissed him repeatedly. The surrounding warriors were all stunned. Looking at the erotic scene on the ground, their expressions were very interesting. Seeing that the situation wasn't right, the owner of the inn hurried to recruit more people. Not long after, a group of people rushed over angrily. The surrounding crowd dispersed and looked at them with some fear. The person in the lead was a burly man. He was almost 2 meters tall and seemed to be burning with fire as he walked. When he saw the situation on the ground, his eyes widened and he slapped Xing Tong unconscious. What happened? The burly man asked in a deep voice. He knew that although Xing Tong was addicted to wine and women, he was still able to distinguish between men and women. Someone must have done something secretly. The surrounding warriors all lowered their heads, not daring to say anything. The young men who were with Xing Tong recounted what had happened. A woman who knows charm techniques and a young man with a monkey? The burly man frowned. He had never heard of these two people in the Jianghu. Where are they? The burly man asked in a deep voice. There. They turned around and found that Lin Xian and Zhao Shui were long gone. A bunch of trash. The burly man's eyes were cold. Search the entire city and capture them. They actually dared to touch the people of Xing Manor. Looks like they don't know how to write the word death. Yes. The warriors behind the burly man said respectfully. On the wide street, Lin Xian and Zhao Shui walked quickly. Fire Province, Shadow Country and Rain Country are neighbors. The forces here are very complicated. We can go to the Inscription Union to take the Inscription Master test. As long as we pass, normal forces won't dare to provoke us. Zhao Shui said slowly. Inscription Union? Lin Xian touched his chin. He had heard of this organization before. Everyone in the Union was an Inscription Master. Moreover, this organization didn't belong to Xia country. They were in other nearby countries. It could be said that they had a strong background and no one dared to provoke them. Okay. Lin Xian nodded. But I want to wait for a few days. I feel that my soul power is about to break through. Zhao Shui's mouth twitched. Another breakthrough? Are you kidding me? Are you trying to hurt me? Lin Xian was about to break through. He had been using the mysterious ice chi to temper his soul these few days. His progress was very fast. He only needed an opportunity to break through to become a second seal inscription master. In the center of Flame City, there was a volcano that was 1,000 meters tall. This volcano had been modified by an inscription master. Not only would it not erupt anymore, but it had also become a holy land for cultivation. Lin Xian and Zhao Shui came here and decided to cultivate for a few days. At the foot of the volcano there were many cultivation rooms. Lin Xian looked around. There were a total of 5 floors. The lower they went, the more expensive it was. Lin Xian and Zhao Shui chose 2 cultivation rooms on the 3rd floor. They paid the spirit stones and received the keys. The cultivation room on the 3rd floor cost 1,000 low-grade spirit stones a day. It could be said that the price was very expensive. However, Lin Xian had nearly 2 million low-grade spirit stones on him. This amount of money was nothing to him. After paying the fee for 5 days, the two walked towards the cultivation room. The lower they went, the higher the temperature. The temperature on the 3rd floor was as high as a few hundred degrees. It was like a huge furnace. Lin Xian had the Copper Thunder rune and could still withstand it. Zhao Shui had already propped up her spirit energy armor. It's just right for me to cultivate. Lin Xian opened the door and walked in. The facilities inside were very simple. Lin Xian did not care about this. After all, the warriors who came here were all here to cultivate and not to enjoy. There was a brown stone in the center. There were 8 bowl-sized holes around it. Lava was boiling inside. This cultivation room made use of the underground flame vein. Wine Lord transmitted. Flame vein. Lin Xian did not understand. Yes, the reason why there are so many volcanoes in the Fire Province is because there is a flame vein underground. Wine Lord slowly said. This is a type of mutated spirit vein. It contains 5 times more spirit energy than ordinary places. Especially the fire attribute spirit energy. It is almost materialized. Indeed, Lin Xian could see traces of fiery red mist floating in the room with his naked eye. It was like a thin red line. Whoosh. He came to the brown stone platform and sat cross-legged. It was very famous in the entire Tiannan region and could be said to be a very large organization. The 9-story tower towered into the clouds and was completely red. It was built with high-quality fire stones. The gate was very wide, 10 meters high and 20 meters long. There were lifelike dragons and phoenixes painted on it. There were not many people coming and going, but those who came and went were either disciples of aristocratic families or martial artists of large sections. The Inscription Alliance was actually a place of business. Elixirs, weapons, arrays, everything was available inside. As long as you could afford it, there was nothing you could not buy. Moreover, there were inscription masters inside. Some martial artists could ask for items that were suitable for them. The effects were much better than those found elsewhere. Lin Xian and Zhao Shui slowly walked up the stairs, but they were blocked at the entrance. Why have you two come? The guard at the entrance asked. He saw that Lin Xian and Zhao Shui were dressed in ordinary clothes and did not look like rich people, so he stopped them to ask. During this time, a few disciples of aristocratic families passed by and looked at Lin Xian with disdain. Humph, country bumpkin, you've come to the wrong place. Someone sneered. Lin Xian smiled indifferently. I heard that there is an inscription master examination here. We want to try. Inscription master examination. The guard at the entrance changed his face. Even the disciples of aristocratic families were surprised. They looked at Lin Xian with a different look, as if they were more respectful. So that's how it is. Sorry, please come with me. The guard cupped his fist and said. Thank you. Lin Xian's attitude was gentle and his expression was calm. After the two followed the guard in, some of the nearby martial artists praised. That boy is so young. He should not be an adult yet, right? Tiske, the girl next to him is not bad. My heart is itching to see her. You're courting death. If he becomes an inscription master, I'll see if you dare to talk nonsense. I'm just kidding. But it's rare to see someone so young taking the inscription master examination. The hall was even more spacious. The first floor was more than 30 meters high. There were many stars painted on the roof as if it were the sky. Old Su, these two are here to take the inscription master examination. The guard respectfully said. The old man who was dozing off opened his eyes, and a sharp light flashed in his eyes. He looked at Lin Xian and Zhao Shui and felt the soul force on their bodies. He nodded. Today there is an examination. Go fill in your information. Old Su finished speaking and left. Someone brought in a pen and paper. Lin Xian looked and saw some basic information. Most of it was name, age and so on. The two quickly filled in the information and handed it to Old Su. Oh, 17 years old? Old Su looked at Lin Xian's information, and his eyebrows suddenly rose. A 17-year-old taking the inscription master examination was indeed very young. But when he saw the following information he sat up straight. You want to take the 2nd grade inscription master examination? Old Su's voice was full of doubt. Yes. Lin Xian nodded. He could not think of why this old man would have such a big reaction. Little boy, are you playing with me? Old Su asked with uncertainty. Senior, who do you think would dare to play with people here? Lin Xian did not know whether to laugh or cry. That's right. Old Su nodded, but you have not taken the inscription master examination. You will need to start from the beginning. No problem. Lin Xian readily agreed. If he could not pass the 1st grade inscription master examination, then how could he become a 2nd grade inscription master? Chapter 212. After bypassing the 2nd floor, Elder Su led Lin Xian and Zhao Shui to the 3rd floor. After walking for more than 10 meters, a dark red door appeared in front of them. There were 2 bronze lion handles on top of the door. Elder Su placed his hand on one of the lion heads and exerted a little force. A circle of inscription that looked like water ripples quickly spread out, forming a triangular pattern. The dark red door trembled slightly, and then it opened a crack. Elder Su smiled and pushed the door open. Lin Xian praised in his heart. He didn't expect the mechanism to be so ingenious. If he rushed in without knowing the situation, he would be seriously injured. On top of the dark red door, there was a powerful inscription formation. Its aura was not weaker than that of a harmonious spirit realm expert. Lin Xian also noticed the soul force that Elder Su released just now. A second seal inscription master and a peak one at that. He was very strong. At least, Lin Xian was no match for him at the moment. Behind the dark red door was a classical hall. It was less extravagant, but it had a sense of history. There were many people standing in the hall. Most of them were young people. In front of those young people there were 3 people in silver robes. On their chests, there were a few golden ripples that looked like crescent moons. Among them, there was an elegant middle-aged man and a young woman on both sides. Both of them had 2 golden ripples on their chests. The one standing in the middle was an old man with 3 golden ripples on his chest. What a strong soul force. Lin Xian's pupils shrank when he saw the old man in the middle. His soul force had already surpassed Elder Su's, reaching an unbelievable level. It's a 3rd grade inscription master. Wine Lord transmitted his voice. 3rd grade. Lin Xian was surprised. The Inscription Alliance was indeed worthy of its name. They had seen so many inscription masters in such a short time. There were even 3rd grade inscription masters. 3rd grade inscription masters were equivalent to harmonious spirit realm experts. The people in the hall looked at Lin Xian's group with curiosity. Elder Su, why are you here? Who are these 2 behind you? The middle-aged woman asked doubtfully. These 2 are also here to participate in the inscription master examination. I saw that it was not time for the examination yet, so I brought them here. After all, there are still a few days before the Battle of the Inscription Tower. We can't miss these young geniuses. Young geniuses? Hearing Elder Su's words, everyone looked at Lin Xian with a trace of dissatisfaction in their eyes. Even the 3 silver-robed men looked over. Among them, the scholarly middle-aged man was slightly stunned when he saw Lin Xian. Then he smiled. Lin Xian, I didn't expect it's you. Greetings, Senior Wang. Lin Xian smiled. This middle-aged man was the elder of the 10,000 Treasure Tower. Moreover, he was the one who escorted Lin Xian and the others to the snow-seeking sect. Lin Xian, you are Lin Xian? The middle-aged woman was surprised. Even the powerful elders stared at him. The young disciples behind them were discussing. Many of them looked at Lin Xian with unfriendly expressions. He is that Lin Xian from the 1,000 Treasure Tower. I heard that he took a spot to participate in the Inscription Tower without taking the examination. What? There's such a thing? I want to see what kind of ability this kid has. What kind of ability can he have at such a young age? Lin Xian listened to these discussions and smiled bitterly. It turned out that his reputation had already spread among these people. The middle-aged man said to Lin Xian, "This is Deacon Meng of the Inscription Alliance, and this is Elder Song of the Inscription Alliance. He is also the manager of this division." Greetings, elders. Lin Xian said respectfully. The 2 smiled and nodded. Elder Song said slowly, "Since everyone is here, let's begin." Yes. Deacon Wang received the order and then said in a clear voice, "There are a total of 16 people in this inscription examination. Those who draw the inscription according to the requirements will become a 1st-grade inscription master. Now everyone find a place to stand. The examination is about to begin." In front of them, 16 green jade platforms appeared. They were more than a meter high and some materials were placed on them. Lin Xian and the others found a place to stand. He roughly looked at them and felt that there should be no difficulty. The others were seriously preparing. Lin Xian looked up slightly and found that there were 4 young people who did not come to participate in the examination. Instead, they stood to the side and looked coldly. Among them, there was a woman in a silver robe. Her expression was cold and her appearance was unparalleled. Her graceful figure was hidden in the silver robe. On her chest there was a golden line. 1st-grade inscription master. Lin Xian was surprised. He found that the others were also 1st-grade inscriptionists. It seems that these people should be participating in the 2nd-grade inscription master examination. Feeling Lin Xian's gaze, the beautiful woman did not change her expression. However, the young people beside her showed a disdainful expression. The inscription master examination begins now. You only need to draw the inscription according to the requirements. Deacon Wang said in a clear voice. On the green jade platform there was a layer of light. Lin Xian found that there was a line of words on top of it. It turns out that I have to draw 9 basic inscriptions and 9 derivative inscriptions. But I only have 20 breaths of time. Lin Xian quickly read the requirements. With a thought, he began to draw the inscriptions. For him this was a very simple matter. These inscriptions were the most commonly used ones. Lin Xian practiced every day. And the time limit was even less of a problem for him. He was now a second-grade inscription master. His speed was many times faster than before. However, he did not show too much shock. Outside, Deacon Wang and the others saw that Lin Xian used 15 breaths of time to draw 18 inscriptions. They could not help but secretly nod. However, the young people showed a look of disdain. That year I only used 12 breaths of time. These people are really useless. Of course they can't be compared with Brother Zhou. Another person laughed. But that girl's strength is not bad. The young man surnamed Zhou looked at the figure and his eyes lit up. They were naturally looking at Zhao Shui. In terms of appearance, Zhao Shui did not belong to the silver-robed woman. Moreover, she had an indescribable aura. Moreover, Zhao Shui's strength had reached the peak of a first-grade inscription master. Her strength was comparable to those people's. The silver-robed woman looked at Zhao Shui. Her eyes gradually brightened and then she carefully looked at her. On the green jade platform, after Lin Xian drew 18 inscriptions, the words on the platform changed again. This time there were 3 choices. Lin Xian quickly chose the inscription master. Refining a first-grade elixir of qualified quality. The time is 30 minutes. Lin Xian looked at the materials on the green jade platform and immediately had an idea. Only 1/3 of the materials on the platform were for inscription masters. And from this 1/3 he had to choose the spiritual medicine he needed. If the previous test was about basic skills, then this test was about actual combat. Only by refining a first-grade elixir of qualified quality within the specified time could one become a first-grade inscription master. Outside, Elder Song and the 2 deacons looked at the field. Chapter 213. It should be about half, Deacon Wang whispered as he looked at Lin Xian. When he saw Lin Xian's skillful technique, a smile appeared on Deacon Wang's face. Lin Xian was quite relaxed. Refining a first-grade elixir was not difficult for him at all. He could even separate his soul force to observe the others. Among these people, about half of them had the strength of a first-grade inscriptionist, but they were far inferior to Zhao Shui, let alone him. After half an hour, the green jade platform shone and everyone stopped. Among them, 5 people did not finish refining and were directly eliminated. Among the remaining 11 people, 4 of their medicinal pills did not meet the mark. In the end, only 7 people passed the assessment. This number was similar to what the deacons had guessed, so no one was too surprised. The disciples who passed the assessment were excited, while those who failed stood aside dejectedly. Elder Song said slowly, "Inscription is broad and profound. Whether you pass the assessment or not, you can't relax. Remember. Next is the second-grade inscriptionist assessment. Shanshan, you should get ready." "Yes." The young men in silver robes replied. The 4 of them walked toward the green jade platform and Lin Xian also walked out. "Boy, what are you doing? Go back." One of the young men shouted coldly. Everyone looked at Lin Xian, not knowing what he was going to do. The silver-robed woman looked at him and frowned. She said softly, "Please don't disturb our assessment." Lin Xian touched his chin. "Sorry, I'm also a member of the assessment." "You?" The young men were stunned and then sneered. "This is the second-grade inscriptionist assessment. Can you do it?" The disciples who just passed the assessment also sneered. "He wants to take the second-grade inscriptionist assessment? Even I can't do it, let alone him." Zhao Shui smiled but did not say anything. She knew Lin Xian had the strength. Elder Song and the others looked at Elder Su with questioning gazes. "Ah, that's right. This little guy signed up for the second-grade inscriptionist assessment." Elder Su smiled. "Because he has never taken the assessment, he started from the first-grade inscriptionist assessment." "What?" Those young disciples looked as if they had eaten duck eggs and were choked speechless. The silver-robed woman looked at Lin Xian with a trace of curiosity in her eyes. The 3 young men behind her looked gloomy and stared at Lin Xian with unkind eyes. "Not everyone can take the second-grade inscriptionist assessment. First, you have to reach the second-grade soul force." The young man named Zhou said. "Prove it." "How old is this guy? Can't do it." "That's right. It's ridiculous. Lin Xian's expression remained unchanged. Since they wanted to prove it, he would prove it to them. Two inscriptions appeared in the air at the same time. Ripples appeared in the air as strands of strange energy fluctuated. Those complicated lines dazzled many people. After a moment, the inscription in the air dissipated. The crowd woke up from their daze and looked at Lin Xian's figure as if they had seen a ghost. How is this possible? He is only 17 years old. The group of disciples felt it was hard to breathe. They could not believe this fact. The silver-robed woman's eyes became fierce and contained a fighting spirit. Her name is Huang Shanshan, and she is Elder Song's disciple. Since she was young, she had been recognized as an abnormal talent. The disciples around her could not compare with her. Even some of the older disciples could not compare with her. But now a youth had appeared. He was younger than her, but his strength was not weak. This made her feel a sense of resistance. Elder Song nodded with a smile and said, "Let's begin." Lin Xian and the others walked to the green jade stage and calmly prepared. So what if you have a second-grade soul force? Zhou Yong's face was cold. To become a second-grade inscriptionist, it is not enough to have a powerful soul force. Both of you show me your true abilities. Zhou Yong shouted in a low voice. He did not want to be outdone by a youth. Looking at the 5 people preparing, Deacon Meng chuckled and said, "Shanshan, this little girl has been waiting for this for a long time. Yes, she has been preparing for more than 2 months. There should be no problem this time." Elder Song laughed. But it is not certain for the others. After all, the second-grade inscriptionist test is not child's play. Deacon Wang, do you think that little guy Lin Xian can pass? I don't know. Deacon Wang shook his head. The last time I saw him, he only had a first-grade soul force. I didn't expect that after 2 months he would have a breakthrough. Oh. Elder Song and the others were interested. It seems that this child's talent is amazing. I hope he can shine in the battle of the inscription tower. As they talked, Lin Xian and the others began to move. The disciples held their breaths and carefully watched the 5 people on the stage. They did not want to miss a single detail. Lin Xian calmed himself and carefully drew the inscription. He did not dare to be careless. Compared to the previous test, the difficulty of this test was nearly 10 times higher. This was also the reason why there were so few second-grade inscriptionists. It was too difficult. Lin Xian pushed his soul force to the limit and controlled the inscription. Huang Shanshan also had a dignified expression. Her delicate face was covered in sweat. Zhou Yong and the other 2 were sweating profusely, their faces pale. The mysterious inscriptions in the air were like a bottomless pit, absorbing their soul force. Time slowly passed. 5 inscriptions appeared in the sky. One could vaguely make out that they were a pattern, but it was not complete. Among them, Huang Shanshan had completed about 70%. Lin Xian had completed half. Zhou Yong had completed about 60%, and the remaining 2 had completed about 40%. It was like a piece of jade shattering. A crisp sound echoed in the air. A crack appeared in one of the inscriptions. With a bang it shattered. The youth closest to him was affected, and his inscription was instantly scattered. Lin Xian and the others were also affected. The inscriptions in the sky seemed like they would scatter at any time. This change was unexpected. The inscription process needed to be absolutely safe and not be disturbed by the outside world. Otherwise, the possibility of failure was high. Lin Xian's soul force intertwined, constantly stabilizing the inscription while continuing to draw. Huang Shanshan and Zhou Yong were protecting the inscription with all their might, not daring to be distracted. Elder Song and the others looked at the field with a trace of worry. Lin Xian's technique is very special. It doesn't seem to be a common technique in the Xia kingdom. Elder Song was surprised to see Lin Xian continue to draw while protecting the inscription. I heard that he has a master who does not appear in the world, but I don't know the details. Deacon Wang quickly said, but he is a disciple of the Sword Pool Mansion's Lin family. His identity is very clear, and he can participate in the inscription tower battle. Yes, I also heard about this. Deacon Meng said from the side. Just as the 3 of them were talking, the air in the field finally calmed down. Huang Shanshan and Zhou Yong heaved a sigh of relief, but their expressions changed again. Chapter 214. Lin Xian's speed was so fast that Huang Shanshan and Zhou Yong's expressions changed. Damn it, how can this kid be so fast? Zhou Yong's face was gloomy as he started to inscribe. Huang Shanshan also took a deep breath. She no longer paid attention to anything else and focused on drawing. The difference in performance was obvious. At least in terms of mental strength, Huang Shanshan was much stronger than Zhou Yong. In the end, Lin Xian was the first to finish inscribing. He continued to refine the second-grade elixir with a calm face. Huang Shanshan was the second to finish inscribing. She had already regained her composure. Zhou Yong was the last to finish inscribing. His face was ferocious as he looked at Lin Xian coldly. After 2 hours, the three of them finished inscribing. Elder Song and the rest walked over with anticipation and started to examine the 3 elixirs. They were most concerned about Huang Shanshan, so they were also the first to examine her. Not bad. The color is still a little rough, but it's a genuine second-grade elixir. Shanshan, you passed. Hearing this, the silver-robed woman's face finally showed a trace of joy. Then Elder Song and the rest looked at Zhou Yong. The purity is not enough and the fire is still a little lacking. I was a little impatient, Elder Song said in a deep voice. Deacon Wang and Deacon Meng also sighed and shook their heads slightly. What? Zhou Yong didn't pass. The surrounding disciples were also stunned. They had a new understanding of the second-grade inscriptionist assessment. Zhou Yong's face was gloomy. He unwillingly bowed to the 3 elders and then clenched his fist without saying a word. At this moment, everyone looked at Lin Xian. He definitely won't pass. Didn't you see that even a genius like Zhou Yong failed? Most people were not optimistic about Lin Xian. Even Zhao Shui was a little worried. After all, reaching the second seal did not mean that one could become a second-grade inscriptionist. There were also many factors such as technique, proficiency, experience and many others. It's a spiritual liquid. Elder Song was surprised. Previously, Shanshan and Zhou Yong were both refining elixirs. He did not expect Lin Xian to be refining spiritual liquid. In essence, there was no difference between the two. When the cork was opened, a mellow fragrance spread out. Everyone was a little confused and subconsciously sniffed a few times. Isn't this wine? Did this kid refine a pot of wine? I told you that this kid is unreliable. Smelling the fragrance of wine, Zhou Yong's heart calmed a little. Finally, he was not the only one who failed. Elder Song and the others didn't pay much attention to this. The 3 of them checked carefully. The expressions of the 3 of them gradually turned solemn, and their eyes were filled with shock. In the end, Elder Song took a deep breath and said, a second-grade spirit liquid and a top-grade one at that. What? Everyone was stunned. They didn't expect this result. A second-grade. At this moment, the others also came to their senses and looked at Lin Xian in shock. Elder Song's eyes flashed. You are the first 17-year-old second-grade inscription master in Xia country. I was just lucky. Lin Xian smiled and bowed to the 3 seniors. As a second-grade inscription master of the Inscription Alliance, you will be protected by the Inscription Alliance. Correspondingly, you will also need to complete some tasks. Every year, you will refine 3 elixirs or weapons for the Inscription Alliance for free, Elder Song said loudly. Lin Xian and the others knew about this, so they did not have much of a reaction. After registering his information, Lin Xian received the Inscription Master's silver robe. Lin Xian, you are very talented. I hope we can exchange our experiences. Huang Shanshan had a smile on her face. Senior Sister Huang, you are too polite. Lin Xian said lightly, when there is a chance, I will definitely have a good exchange with you. After that, he and Zhao Shui left. Everyone was stunned. Their goddess, Huang Shanshan, had actually invited Lin Xian. Many disciples' hearts were broken. Zhou Yong's face turned black and his body trembled. However, what surprised them even more was that Lin Xian had actually rejected her. Huang Shanshan's face was a little stiff. In the past, she had always rejected others. This time, she finally tasted the feeling of being rejected. She stopped smiling and walked toward Elder Song and the others. Outside the Inscription Alliance, the warriors of the Xing family were waiting anxiously. Are you sure that the kid went in? The bald man asked. Yes, I saw it with my own eyes, the warrior under him said. Good, this time we must not let them escape, the bald man said darkly. Big brother, that kid is coming out. Xing Tong was wearing a cloak as he stared fiercely at the gate. Be careful, don't fight at the gate of the Inscription Alliance. When he comes out, we will fight. A group of people hid behind the building and waited patiently. Lin Xian noticed the presence of these people. The corners of his mouth curled up as he slowly walked over. Zhao Shui followed behind him with a smile on her face. She was not worried about Lin Xian at all. She was afraid that no one in the entire Xing family would dare to make a move against the second-grade inscription master. The 2 of them walked unhurriedly. Suddenly, dozens of warriors rushed out from both sides and surrounded them. Everyone's aura was very strong, forming an invisible pressure that pressed down on the two of them. However, their pressure was like a stone sinking into the sea. It did not have any effect. "You guys are so bold to make a move against an inscription master," Lin Xian said slowly. The bald man was stunned. Suddenly his pupils shrank. He saw that there was a golden pattern on Zhao Shue's chest. A first-grade inscription master. The warriors were shocked. The aura on their bodies quickly disappeared. "Big brother?" Xing Tong shouted anxiously while wearing a cloak. "Big brother Zhou Yong is also participating in the inscription master assessment today. Maybe he is already a second-grade inscription master. When the time comes, are we afraid of a first-grade inscription master?" Everyone's eyes lit up when they heard this. They could not afford to offend a first-grade inscription master. However, it would be different if there was a second-grade inscription master supporting them. One had to know that the difference in status between the two was like heaven and earth. "Surround them and wait for Zhou Yong to come," the bald man said in a deep voice. "Are you sure?" Lin Xian asked. "If you anger us, your Xing family will be in big trouble." "Kid, you don't have to scare me," the bald man sneered. "Our Xing family still has a few first-grade inscriptionists. Big brother Zhou Yong is here." Xing Tong shouted happily. "The two of you are dead. I will make you my slaves and you will never be able to rise again. Brother Zhou, you are here." The bald man greeted him with a smile. Zhou Yong did not pass the assessment and was obviously in a bad mood. He said a few words indifferently and prepared to leave. "Big brother Zhou, these two guys hurt me. You have to help me," Xing Tong screamed. Zhou Yong frowned and looked ahead. Chapter 215. Zhou Yong's face twisted when he saw Lin Xian. However, when he thought of Lin Xian's status as a second-grade inscription master, he sighed. He could not afford to offend Lin Xian unless his master intervened. "Big brother Zhou, you must have become a second-grade inscription master. Help me teach them a lesson." Xing Tong was still shouting. However, when they saw the golden pattern on Zhou Yong's chest, they were stunned. "Brother Zhou, could it be that you?" the bald man said doubtfully. "I'm sorry everyone. I can't do anything about this." Zhou Yong sighed. "Lord Lin Xian, this has nothing to do with me." He cupped his fists and said to Lin Xian, "What? Lord Lin?" The surrounding martial artists were stunned and looked at Lin Xian in confusion. Someone who could be addressed as Lord by Zhou Yong was definitely not a simple person. Could it be that Lin Xian had an extraordinary background? The bald man suddenly had a bad premonition. He was about to ask when he realized that Zhou Yong had already run away. Lin Xian flipped his palm and put on his silver robe. The two golden patterns on his chest were like dazzling swords. Second-grade inscription master. The faces of the Xing family martial artists changed and the bald man almost jumped up. They never thought that Lin Xian was a second-grade inscription master. No wonder Lin Xian was not afraid of them. No wonder Zhou Yong called him Lord Lin Xian. Everything was clear now. "It's a misunderstanding, Lord Lin. It's a misunderstanding." The bald man immediately smiled. They could not afford to offend a second-grade inscription master. "Hurry up and disperse. If you block Lord Lin's path, I'll kill you. Lord Lin, take care. We'll leave now." The bald man nodded and bowed, preparing to leave. "Wait," Lin Xian said in a low voice. "You want to leave?" Everyone stiffened and reluctantly stopped in their tracks. The bald man gritted his teeth and threw Xing Tong in front of Lin Xian. Then he punched and kicked him. "You piece of trash, how dare you offend Lord Lin? You're courting death." Xing Tong twitched and screamed in pain. He even wanted to die. A second-grade inscription master could kill him in the blink of an eye. "Lord Lin, I was wrong. I was blind. I deserved to die." Xing Tong started to slap himself. "Lord Lin Xian, let me go." "It's done," Lin Xian said calmly. "I can let you go, but it depends on your sincerity. Lord Lin, feel free to instruct us. The Xing family will definitely get it done for you," the bald man hurriedly said. Xing Tong also looked at Lin Xian with a hopeful expression. Lin Xian took out a piece of paper and wrote down a long list of spirit herbs. "I'll give you 3 days to gather everything on the list and send it to the volcano cultivation room." The bald man took the paper and glanced at it. Seeing that it was full of precious spirit herbs, he felt a burst of heartache. But he couldn't show it on his face. "If I don't see anything in 3 days, I'll have to make a trip to the Xing Manor. At that time, don't blame me for not giving you a chance," Lin Xian said. "Lord Lin Xian, don't worry. We'll definitely deliver it, the bald man said quickly and left with his men. Lin Xian smiled as he watched them leave. He walked with Zhao Shui to the volcano cultivation room. Lin Xian entered the room again. This time he wanted to remove the Purple Devil Palace's mark. His soul force constantly scanned his body to check the situation in his body. With Lord Alcohol's guidance he finally found the mark. It was a purple dot of light the size of a needle. It was hidden in the depths of his body. In the past Lin Xian couldn't find it. But now that his soul force had improved, it was easy for him to find it. Lin Xian's soul force turned into an invisible sword qi. It pierced the purple dot of light and shattered it. Golden lightning surged, forming a sphere that wrapped around it and sent it out of Lin Xian's body. After removing the purple dot of light, Lin Xian felt much more comfortable. Even the circulation of his spiritual energy was much smoother. He closed his eyes and rested for a while. After adjusting his condition to its peak, he took out a huge block of ice. Cold air surged and the entire room seemed to be frozen. The blue-haired man was motionless inside the blue block of ice. However, Lin Xian could clearly feel that the blue-haired man's aura was still fluctuating. It's been so long. He hasn't frozen to death? Lin Xian was surprised. With your current strength, you should be able to use the slave seal. Wine Lord said slowly, do as I say. Lin Xian nodded. His soul force poured out and entered the ice block. When it came into contact with the blue-haired man, the latter's closed eyes suddenly opened. Green flames danced in his eye sockets. Seal. Lin Xian's soul force poured into the blue-haired man's mind, forming a strange seal. Ka. The green flames in the blue-haired man's eyes danced. A terrifying aura spread out, causing cracks to appear on the ice block. Soul sword. A translucent sword aura poured out from Lin Xian's left eye. It passed through the ice block and stood directly in the blue-haired man's soul. Chi. Instantly, the green flames in the blue-haired man's eyes weakened. At the same time, Lin Xian's slave imprint was successfully imprinted in his mind. It's done. Lin Xian breathed a sigh of relief. Cloud State, underwater world. In the huge crack there was a palace. In the palace, the bronze coffin suddenly trembled. A terrifying aura spread out. The waves at the bottom of the sea rolled, forming a huge whirlpool that seemed to tear everything apart. Slave seal. A deep voice came from the coffin. In the cultivation room, Lin Xian let the blue-haired man out and stared at him cautiously. Master. Inscriptions appeared in the blue-haired man's eyes. Lin Xian nodded with satisfaction. It seemed that the slave seal was effective. Suddenly, the blue-haired man's body stiffened. The green flames in his eyes burned again. This is his original body summoning you. Quickly use your sword intent to sever this connection. Wine Lord reminded. Lin Xian's eyes focused. The sword intent in his body surged. A sharp sword aura slashed through the air. The invisible connection was severed. The blue-haired man regained his calm. Alright, there won't be any more accidents this time. Cloud State, underwater world. The deep voice sounded again. Great dragon sword. In the cultivation room. Lin Xian exhaled and asked in a deep voice, Who are you? I'm your servant. The blue-haired man said. I'm asking who you were before. Or rather, who is your original body? Left Green Dragon Envoy. The blue-haired man said. What's your relationship with the Nether Hall? Lin Xian continued to ask. The Nether Hall is one of the 8 great halls of our sect. The blue-haired man said slowly. One of the 8 great halls. Lin Xian's eyes narrowed. As far as he knew, the Nether Hall had once controlled several countries. It was extremely powerful. But now it was just a hall. What sect? Tell me everything you know. Lin Xian said in a deep voice. The Nether Hall belongs to the Black Dragon sect. It's one of the weaker halls. The hall master is the Nether Old Man, who has reached the earthly venerable realm. Chapter 216. The blue-haired man told him some basic information. He didn't know anything else. However, this was normal. He was just a doppelganger. It was already good enough that he knew so much. After Lin Xian heard this, his heart trembled. He realized that the Black Dragon cult was too powerful. Any random hall master could sweep through several countries. Moreover, he knew that there was a hall called the Purple Demon Hall, which was very similar to the Purple Demon Palace. Recently, the Nether Hall had been very active. Moreover, there was a suspicious sect like the Purple Demon Palace. Could it be that the Black Dragon cult was going to revive? Lin Xian was shocked. If such a force revived, it would definitely cause trouble for the entire continent. The Black Dragon cult wasn't kind. Once they revived, there would definitely be a great war. It was useless to think about this now. It was better to increase his strength first. Lin Xian sighed. Then he put away the blue-haired man and started to cultivate. 5 days passed quickly. On this day, the bald man brought a few followers to the volcano cultivation room. They asked Lin Xian about the cultivation time and waited patiently outside. The martial artists who came and went were puzzled. Many of them secretly guessed that the Xing clan was waiting for some big shot. However, when they saw the bald man welcome Lin Xian, they almost bit off their tongues. For a moment, many martial artists were very curious about Lin Xian's identity. Fourth sky of the spiritual sea realm. Is that normal? Why would the Xing clan be so humble? Many people were puzzled. Lord Lin, everything is here. Please take a look. The bald man handed over a storage ring. Lin Xian scanned it with his soul power and found that it was all the spirit herbs he was looking for. He nodded with satisfaction. Oh right, where can I find high-grade fire attribute spirit herbs in the fire province? Lin Xian asked. High-grade fire attribute spirit herbs? The bald man was slightly stunned. Then he said, there is a piece of news. Is it true? Speak. Lin Xian said in a deep voice. It's like this. Recently, a piece of news has been spreading in the city. It is said that there is a volcano 500 miles north of Flame City. There is a bright glow and a strange fragrance. Many people think that it is a peerless spirit herb. Multicolored light, strange fragrance. Lin Xian rubbed his chin, somewhat convinced. Big Head Xing, your Xing family has really declined, actually speaking so humbly to a piece of trash in the 4th layer of the spiritual ocean tier. A mocking voice rang out. It was extremely ear-piercing. The bald burly man raised his head abruptly and said coldly, Lai Wu, how dare you speak rudely to Lord Lin? You're courting death. Lord Lin, what bullshit, Lord? That voice was filled with disdain. Lin Xian raised his head and stared coldly ahead. There was a red-robed young man standing there. He held a folding fan in his hand and looked at the bald man and Lin Xian with disdain. The 6th layer of the spiritual ocean tier, is this what gives you the right to be so arrogant? The corner of Lin Xian's mouth raised slightly. It's enough to deal with you. I can crush you to death as easily as crushing an ant. The red-robed youth waved his fan and said arrogantly, Lai Wu, you're courting death. Big Head Xing sneered, our Lord Lin is a 2nd-grade inscription master. Quickly kowtow and admit your mistake. 2nd-grade inscription master. The surrounding martial artists were stunned. That was an existence comparable to a harmonious spirit realm martial artist. Really? Isn't he too young? The crowd was in disbelief. Lai Wu froze, then laughed loudly. I say, Big Head Xing, will you die if you don't brag? If he's a 2nd-grade inscription master, then I'm a harmonious spirit realm martial artist. Lai Wu was extremely arrogant, laughing until tears came out. But soon he couldn't laugh anymore, and his somewhat handsome face became extremely ugly, because he saw Lin Xian slowly put on his silver-white robe. The 2 golden lines on his chest were like sharp blades, stabbing into his heart. You. Lai Wu opened his mouth but couldn't say anything. The surrounding martial artists were also shocked, looking at Lin Xian with disbelief. This was probably the youngest 2nd-grade inscription master they had ever seen. Lai Wu, quickly admit your mistake to Lord Lin. The bald man coldly shouted. The red-robed youth's expression was conflicted, and he was stunned for a moment. 2nd-grade inscription master, is he that great? A slightly frivolous voice sounded. Everyone was stunned. There was actually someone who dared to challenge a 2nd-grade inscription master. He was too bold. Big Head Xing frowned, and just as he was about to shout, he was stopped by Lin Xian. Under everyone's attention, a devilish man appeared. He was wearing a purple robe with a handsome face and fair skin, but his lips were as red as blood. Many people wiped the cold sweat from their foreheads, feeling their hearts palpitate. It's someone from the Purple Extreme Devil Palace. Zhao Shui transmitted. The 3rd in the younger generation of the Purple Extreme Devil Palace, Ru Shui. Lin Xian was secretly on guard. His intuition told him that the man in front of him was very dangerous. Lord Ru Shui, you came at the right time. Lai Wu seemed to have seen his savior, so why did he walk to Ru Shui's side? Since I'm here, I can guarantee that you'll be fine. Ru Shui's red lips did not move, but a feminine voice came out. So what if you're a 2nd-grade inscription master in front of Lord Ru Shui? You're nothing. Lai Wu became arrogant again. Is that so? Lin Xian narrowed his eyes and stared at Lai Wu. Bus. Lai Wu's body trembled and he felt dizzy. The scene around him changed and countless swords pierced through his heart. That kind of pain made him groan. A hand was placed on his body, pulling him back from the illusion. Lai Wu's whole body was covered in sweat, and his face was abnormally pale. He looked at Lin Xian in horror. Your opponent is me. Ru Shui's mouth curved into a sinister smile, and his lips became even more red as if blood was about to drip out. Ding. Bang. Crack. Both of their gazes met, and sparks flew in the air, causing the void to tremble. The two of you are not allowed to fight in the cultivation area, so I hope that the two of you can control yourselves. A vast and mighty spirit energy fluctuation came, as if 10,000 mountains were pressing down on everyone's hearts. It's a harmonious spirit realm expert. Someone shouted in a low voice. Lin Xian's eyes flashed. He felt that the energy did not really descend and it was only a warning. After fighting with the Tsang family's great elder, Lin Xian knew how terrifying a harmonious spirit realm expert was. He did not want to fight with such a person right now, and there was no need for him to offend the volcano cultivation area. Sorry for the disturbance, I will take my leave now. Lin Xian said in a clear voice and then left with Zhao Shui. On the other side, Ru Shui looked at Lin Xian, and his eyes revealed a trace of coldness. Let's go, don't delay our business. Ru Shui smiled evilly. Hearing this, Lai Wu nodded. My father is ready, why don't you follow me back? Ru Shui's sleeve shook, and he turned into a cloud of blood mist and left. After they left, the surrounding people let out a sigh of relief. That demonic man is so scary. Someone patted his chest and said, that young man called Master Lin is not simple either. Such a young second-grade inscription master, he is definitely a monstrous existence. I heard that a divine medicine has appeared in the north, do you think that these people will appear? That's for sure. Someone was excited, I have to go back and prepare, I can't miss such a good thing. Chapter 217. After traveling a few hundred miles, Lin Xian stopped in his tracks. In front of him was a group of volcanoes that towered into the clouds. A few of them were still emitting smoke. Feeling the rising temperature in the air, Lin Xian's eyes narrowed and he became cautious. With his purple spiritual eyes, he could clearly see that there were many warriors at the foot of the volcano. Among them there were a few powerful auras that made his heart palpitate. It seems that the news is most likely true, Zhao Shui said softly. Let's go and take a look. Lin Xian's footsteps swayed as he quickly ran forward. At the foot of the volcano, the ground was cracked and the heat was unbearable. It was like a huge furnace that was roasting everything. There were many warriors nearby. Among them the most powerful were the Xing and Lai families. The two families each occupied an area and were eyeing covetously. There were also many idle warriors who were wandering around, waiting for the right opportunity. With the Xing and Lai families here we have no chance, someone complained softly. What do you know? Another warrior shouted. Such a treasure has already alerted the other forces in the Fire Province. When the time comes, not only the Xing and Lai families, even the entire blazing city won't be able to compete. How is that possible? Someone asked. If the Earth Fire sect comes, will you be afraid? Many warriors shut their mouths. That was a third-grade sect, a giant in the Great Xia country. Who wouldn't be afraid? Someone is coming. Many warriors woke up from their meditation and looked toward the entrance. Two silhouettes could be seen rushing over. Their speed was so fast that it was frightening. Swish. The two of them stopped in their tracks and looked around cautiously. The crowd looked at their silver robes and was slightly shocked. They are from the Inscription Union. Some warriors took a deep breath. Following which, many people exclaimed. Some even stood up. This was because they saw two golden tattoos on the chest of one of the young men. A second-grade inscription master. Many warriors were shocked. They couldn't imagine that a young man would have such a terrifying identity. Immediately, people from the Xing and Lai families walked out and clasped their fists at Lin Xian. This young man was naturally Lin Xian. He returned the greeting and brought Zhao Shui to a clean rock to rest. Wuji wuji. The snow-white monkey jumped out and looked around curiously with its big black gem-like eyes. Suddenly, its nose twitched and an intoxicated expression appeared on its face. After making a bunch of gestures to Lin Xian, the little white monkey disappeared with a whoosh. Lin Xian didn't mind at all. The little white monkey was far more shrewd than he thought, so he wasn't worried. His eyes flickered as he looked at the volcano ahead. As time passed, the bald man from the Xing family arrived. Not long after, Lai Wu and Ru Shui also arrived. The latter stared at Lin Xian, and the coldness in his eyes grew even stronger. Lin Xian ignored the provocative gaze. If the other party really dared to make a move, he wouldn't mind giving them a taste of their own medicine. The people from the Inscription Union are here. Suddenly someone called out in a low voice. Silhouettes flashed, and more than 10 white-robed warriors appeared in front of everyone. Immediately, a tyrannical pressure emerged in the air. Elder Song didn't come, and the leaders were Attendant Wang and Attendant Meng. Behind them were Huang Shanshan and some other young disciples. When Attendant Wang saw Lin Xian on the giant rock, his face lit up with joy and he led everyone over. Seniors. Lin Xian smiled and greeted Huang Shanshan. You are already a second-grade inscription master. From now on we can address each other as equals. Attendant Wang shook his head and smiled. Lin Xian smiled. This was a world where strength was respected, and the age issue could be ignored. In other words, if Lin Xian was a harmonious spirit realm warrior, then these people would respectfully call him senior. Without dwelling on this issue, Lin Xian quickly asked, "What's the situation here?" "It should be the birth of a spirit herb, but we can't rule out other possibilities." Attendant Wang said in a deep voice, "I don't think there will be any harmonious spirit realm old monsters." Lin Xian's heart skipped a beat. That kind of expert's destructive power is too great. I think the whole mountain will be destroyed with just one attack. Moreover, almost every force has a harmonious spirit realm expert behind them. If they want to fight, everyone will do it. Instead of that, it's better to not fight and leave it to the younger generation. This way the younger generation can also be trained. Lin Xian nodded in agreement. The destructive power of a harmonious spirit realm warrior was too great, and he had experienced it firsthand. In the following time, more and more forces arrived, and a strange fragrance floated in the air. Half of the volcano was shrouded in multicolored light. Wuji wuji. Suddenly, a snow-white figure flashed across the sky and ran directly into Lin Xian's arms. Swoosh swoosh. Behind it there were a few figures with sharp auras. Swoosh. With a flash, a cute girl appeared. Her beautiful big eyes stared at the snow-white little monkey in Lin Xian's arms, and she frowned slightly. Is that monkey yours? Are you selling it? The girl asked in a sweet voice. Wuji wuji. The snow-white little monkey jumped out. Its expression was full of disdain and it kept gesturing something. What is it saying? The crowd was puzzled. I am the one and only in the world. I cannot be measured by money. Lin Xian shrugged and translated for the little monkey. Many people looked at the palm-sized monkey with a strange expression, and they couldn't help but laugh. Little monkey, I have a spirit fruit for you. The cute girl took out a fist-sized fruit and shook it at the little monkey. The fruit was crystal clear. It was obviously not an ordinary fruit. Immediately, many people's eyes flashed, and they stared at the cute girl with an unfriendly expression. The cute girl didn't seem to feel those gazes. She saw the little monkey take 2 steps forward, and then took out an agate-like fruit. Whoosh. Many people's breathing became rapid, and most of them stared at the spirit fruit in the cute girl's hand. Umph. A cold snort was heard and it exploded in everyone's ears, waking many of them up. Unknowingly, a short old man appeared behind the cute girl. His body emitted a dangerous aura. Everyone's body trembled, and the evil thoughts in their hearts instantly disappeared. The cute girl didn't seem to know anything, and she continued to call out to the little monkey. Swish. The little monkey couldn't resist the temptation, and it jumped onto the cute girl's body. It smiled and hugged the spirit fruit to eat. Everyone had different expressions and their eyes were filled with envy. Many people wished they could become monkeys and pounce on it. The cute girl glanced at Lin Xian provocatively, and a light snort came from her delicate little nose. If it wants to go with you, I won't stop it. Lin Xian shrugged. The short old man behind the cute girl looked at Lin Xian in surprise, as if he didn't expect this young man to be so straightforward. The cute girl hugged the little monkey and sat to the side, her face full of joy. Chapter 218. It's the people from the Earth Fire sect. The crowd panicked and retreated. From this point, one could see how terrifying a 3-star sect was. Just the arrival of a disciple could cause such a huge commotion. There were a total of 6 people from the Earth Fire sect. One of them was tall and had flames dancing on his body like a fire god. Meng Yan. Many warriors swallowed their saliva secretly and looked at the fire-like man with fear. That was the genius warrior ranked first on the hidden dragon roll. Lin Xian stared at the fire-red figure and was slightly surprised. He realized that Meng Yan's aura had become stronger. As expected of the first on the hidden dragon roll. This cultivation speed is indeed terrifying. I wonder how strong Lin Feng is now. Lin Xian's heart sank as he felt the pressure again. I must get the spiritual medicine this time. Lin Xian's eyes flashed. Growing in this volcano, it must be a fire attribute spiritual medicine. It was just what he needed. With this fire attribute spiritual medicine, he could let the wine lord refine spiritual wine and improve his cultivation. Thinking of this, Lin Xian's eyes gradually became fiery. The warriors from the Earth Fire sect found a comfortable place and sat down. Among them, Meng Yan saw Lin Xian in a silver robe and narrowed his eyes. Rank 2 Inscription Master. He whispered and there seemed to be flames dancing in his eyes. Nodding slightly, Meng Yan greeted Lin Xian. Lin Xian also responded with a smile. Is he Lin Xian? Isn't he a sword cultivator? How did he become an inscription master? A fair-faced youth beside Meng Yan wondered. It's getting more and more interesting. I'm looking forward to the moment when he and Lin Feng duel. Meng Yan's flames danced as if he had thought of something interesting. No matter how powerful Sword Pool Manor is, they are still suppressed by us. The youth said disdainfully. One day I will defeat them all. Meng Yan looked at the youth beside him and warned, You promised the sect leader to listen to me. That's why I let you out. Don't cause trouble for me. Don't worry, eldest senior brother. That youth smiled and said, Dad is really too much. I'm not a child. This youth was actually the child of the Earth Fire sect master. This was something that no one could have imagined. Hey, what a smart little monkey. The young man's eyes lit up when he saw the little white monkey in the distance. Beauty, my name is Zhu. How should I address you? Everyone was stunned. They never thought that an Earth Fire sect martial artist would strike up a conversation like this. The short old man behind the cute girl stared at Zhu with an unfriendly expression. His eyes were filled with warning. However, it was obvious that Zhu had overlooked it. Annoyed by the stare, the cute girl frowned and said, Jianghu. Good name. Zhu shouted, then laughed strangely. Your monkey is not bad, how about you sell it to me? Black lines appeared on everyone's forehead. Wasn't this target changing too quickly? Jianghu pouted and snorted, Not selling. After saying that, she hugged the little white monkey even tighter. I have something good. Zhu ignored the cute girl and took out 2 bright red fruits, shaking them continuously. Everyone felt dizzy. There was an extremely familiar feeling. Swoosh. The little white monkey's body flashed and jumped onto Zhu's body, making Wuxia noises. Everyone was stunned and looked at Lin Xian. Lin Xian smiled faintly and did not say anything. Damn monkey, you're ungrateful. Jianghu said angrily. Wuxia. The little white monkey ate the spiritual fruits while showing an aggrieved expression. It kept gesturing something. Speaking of spiritual fruits, I have some too. Jianghu said angrily. She flipped her hand and took out a few high-grade spiritual fruits. The snow-white little monkey ate happily, and its pair of big eyes narrowed into the shape of a crescent moon. Everyone's eyes were burning. They wished that they could be a monkey too. Meng Yan looked at Jianghu and revealed a surprised expression. He knew that Zhu had a special identity and had many spiritual fruits on him. However, the girl in front of him did not lose to Zhu at all. After thinking for a long time, he could not guess her identity. At this time, the little white monkey's belly was bulging and it kept burping. It waved its little paws at Jianghu and Zhu. The little white monkey turned into a white light and returned to Lin Xian's side. Wuxia. The little white monkey sat on Lin Xian's shoulder and took out a few spiritual fruits and handed them to Lin Xian. You're full. Is this mine? Lin Xian said with a smile. You. Bastard. Zhu and Jianghu jumped up and stared at Lin Xian unkindly. Give me the little monkey. You're a bad guy. Everyone was stunned. When they thought of Lin Xian's indifference, they seemed to have thought of something. Even the people of the Inscription Union looked at Lin Xian in surprise. They did not expect things to turn out this way. I said that if it's willing to follow you, I won't stop it, Lin Xian said in a low voice. Now it seems that it's not willing to go with you. Nonsense. I'm so handsome. How can it not like me? Zhu's face was cold. That's right. I have a lot of spiritual fruits. Jianghu said angrily. Swoosh. With a flash, the little white monkey directly entered the storage ring and went to sleep. Give me the little monkey. Zhu was arrogant and had never suffered such a loss. He stomped his feet and the ground bulged slightly. A hot current rushed out quickly. Retreat. Deacon Wang and Deacon Meng's faces changed. They quickly led the disciples around them to dodge. Lin Xian's eyes narrowed and he floated to a place where there was no one. Boom. The ground cracked and a red light beam rushed out. The place where Lin Xian and the others were standing turned into a sea of fire. The surrounding cultivators sucked in a breath of cold air as they looked at Zhu Hao with fear. Who would have thought that this young man had such terrifying attack power? This attack has the power of the sixth sky of the spiritual ocean tier? Everyone retreated, afraid of being affected. Swish. After his attack failed, Zhu Hao's body flashed and rushed toward Lin Xian. Great Flame Steel Fist. He threw out a punch and his arm turned into a glazed color. Flames soared into the sky and heat waves swept in all directions. A terrifying aura rushed toward Lin Xian. Sixth sky of the spiritual ocean tier. Lin Xian was surprised. He did not expect this young man's cultivation to be so high. He glanced at Meng Yan and saw that the latter was not worried at all. With such strength he would probably be in the top 20 of the Hidden Dragon role. No wonder Meng Yan was not worried. Lin Xian smiled. Just in time to test the power of the Copper Thunder pattern. Without any intention of dodging, Lin Xian stretched out his right hand. His 5 fingers formed a claw as he grabbed at the fiery red fist. Everyone was stunned. Lin Xian's aura was only at the 4th sky of the spiritual ocean tier. It was very unwise to fight a martial artist at the 6th sky of the spiritual ocean tier. What is Lin Xian thinking? Deacon Meng and the other martial artists of the Inscription Union changed their expressions. On the other side, the martial artists of the Earth Fire sect sneered when they saw this scene. Chapter 219. The Earth Fire sect warriors looked at Lin Xian with disdain. When Zhu Hao saw Lin Xian's actions, he was also taken aback. However, his fist still shot out quickly. "Get lost," he shouted. "This is not something you can handle." Lin Xian's expression did not change as he quickly reached out with his palm. Boom, boom, boom. A shockwave exploded, shattering the surrounding mountain rocks. Everyone looked over anxiously and many of them exclaimed. Among them, the Earth Fire sect had the biggest reaction. A few warriors stood up with looks of disbelief. How can you handle it?" Zhu Hao's face was pale. His fist was tightly gripped and he could not move. In the arena, Lin Xian stood with a smile. One of his palms blocked the fiery red fist, neutralizing the violent punch. Open. Zhu Hao suddenly exerted his strength. The spiritual energy in his body surged like flames. Stimulated by the flames, Lin Xian's body surface was covered in copper lightning patterns. It was extremely mysterious and emitted a terrifying energy. What move is this? The crowd did not understand as they looked curiously at Lin Xian. When Meng Yan saw the lightning, his eyes narrowed, revealing a grave expression. Zhu Hao did not give up. His left fist quickly struck towards Lin Xian's lower ribs. At such a close distance, there was no time to defend. The fiery red fist was like a small sun, bursting with dazzling light. Boom! A loud sound was heard. Flames danced and lightning overflowed. The ground cracked and the earth trembled. Magma spewed out from the surroundings. Humph! After receiving such a heavy attack, he's definitely dead, Lai Wu said hatefully. Beside him, Ru Shui had a sinister smile on his face. No one knew what he was thinking. Ouch! It hurts. An exasperated voice was heard, with a hint of indignation. Hearing this voice, the Earth Fire sect disciples' expressions changed. Even Meng Yan stood up. Whoosh! A figure flew out and landed near the Earth Fire sect. He continued to retreat, and every step he took left a terrifying footprint on the ground. Meng Yan reached out and caught the figure. Pain, pain. Zhu Hao's face fell as he kept rubbing his fists. Everyone was stunned and looked at Lin Xian in horror. The scene just now was blocked by the magma, so they didn't know what had happened. Lai Wu looked at Lin Xian with fear in his eyes. His blood-red eyes flashed and a rare solemn expression appeared on his face. The people of the Inscription Alliance were the most horrified. They had sensed the scene with their souls, and a horrified expression appeared on their faces. Just now, Zhu Hao's fist had landed squarely on Lin Xian's body. However, it didn't cause any damage. Not only that, it even injured Zhu Hao. This kind of method was too terrifying. Even a martial artist at the 6th sky of the spiritual ocean tier couldn't injure Lin Xian, which was hard to believe. What a powerful copper thunder pattern. Lin Xian was excited. He had risked his life to snatch the thunder python skin from a harmonious spirit expert and successfully refined the copper thunder mark. Now it was finally showing its effect. He estimated that ordinary martial artists below the seventh sky of the spiritual ocean tier wouldn't be able to injure him. Lin Xian had a rough guess in his heart. However, this was only limited to ordinary martial arts. For some genius martial artists who had comprehended sword intent or concept, it was very likely to injure them. However, this didn't affect the power of the Copper Thunder pattern. After all, there were only a small number of such martial artists. How powerful would the Silver Thunder pattern and Gold Thunder pattern be? Lin Xian didn't dare to imagine. I'll teach you a lesson. Seeing Lin Xian's smile, Jianghu was instantly enraged. Her delicate face was covered with coldness. Her graceful body flashed and disappeared from the spot. So fast. Everyone was shocked again. They couldn't see Jianghu's movement at all. Swoosh. Lin Xian used the Wind Thunder step and disappeared from the spot. In the next moment he reappeared in another place. Damn it, don't run. Jianghu shouted angrily as she missed. Lin Xian rubbed his chin helplessly and nodded, "All right, I won't run. I'll beat you to death, you big liar." Jianghu formed a strange seal with her palms and raised it above her head. A simple and unadorned water bottle appeared in her hand. Thousands of rays of light fell from the bottle. A vicissitude aura rushed over, causing everyone's eyelids to twitch. What kind of move is this? It's so terrifying. The martial artists in the surroundings ran far away. Aquarius seal. Jianghu shouted. She held the Aquarius in her hand and struck out a powerful attack. A silver waterfall flew towards Lin Xian like an upside-down waterfall. Wherever it passed, the mountain was sliced in half. Clang, clang. The silver waterfall slashed on Lin Xian's body, creating a string of sparks. The lightning on the surface of Lin Xian's body shone brightly as streaks of mysterious lightning patterns appeared, forming a strong defense that forcefully blocked the silver waterfall. Break. Lin Xian bellowed and punched out with his fist. With a flash of lightning, it collided with the silver ribbon. Crack, crack, crack. Like a mirror, the silver waterfall shattered into countless pieces. What a perverted defense. Jianghu cursed softly. What a tortoise shell. If you're done, go back. I don't have time to play with you, Lin Xian said indifferently. Jianghu was furious. Who's done? We'll attack together, Zhu Hao said with a cold face. The two of them turned into two rays of light and rushed towards Lin Xian. At the same time they struck out a powerful attack. Lin Xian stomped his feet on the ground. Lightning turned into dragons and surged under his feet. The terrifying force caused the ground to crack. Rumble. Within a radius of 50 meters, the ground cracked into countless pieces. Magma gushed out from the ground and emitted a terrifying heat wave. At the same time, the dragons formed by lightning roared at the sky. Their momentum shook the heavens and sent Zhu Hao and Jianghu flying. Swoosh, swoosh. Meng Yin caught Zhu Hao. The short old man also retreated with Jianghu. The magma under the ground kept rolling and flowing in all directions. While everyone was avoiding the magma, they looked at Lin Xian in horror and kept swallowing their saliva. Wasn't he an inscription master? How could he have such a strong physique? Everyone was puzzled. After a while, everything calmed down. The magma under the ground flowed out and revealed a hole. It was dark and exuded a terrifying heat. No one knew where it led to. Hey, there's a fragrance. Is the spiritual medicine inside? The martial artists of the Inscription Union were puzzled. They were the most sensitive to the smell of spiritual medicine. Deacon Wang and Deacon Meng looked at each other and did not dare to make a decision. Lin Xian, what do you think? Deacon Wang asked. As long as there's a chance, I'll go down and investigate. Lin Xian's voice was firm. The fire attribute spiritual medicine was very important to him, so he would not give it up. The martial artists of the other forces were also discussing with each other. Wuji Wuji. The little white monkey jumped out and grabbed Lin Xian's clothes, shaking it constantly. Got it? Lin Xian rubbed its head and said to Deacon Wang and the others, Seniors, I'll go in first. The few of them also quickly disappeared. Whoosh! A ball of bloody mist suddenly appeared and transformed into a human figure. Ru Shui licked her red lips and sensed the aura left in the air. Then she sneered and entered the path ahead. The people of the Inscription Alliance also split into two groups and walked into the left and right paths. Finally, the short elder and Jianghu entered the path ahead. Lin Xian's path was unimpeded as he sped forward. On the ground, he discovered many red crystals that contained a surge of energy. This is a fire crystal. This is even more precious than a medium spiritual stone, Wine Lord said. Since it was a good item, Lin Xian would not be polite. He waved his sleeves and took away all the fire crystal on the ground. Suddenly, his eyebrows twitched as he sensed a faint aura coming from behind him. Purple Extreme Demon Palace. Lin Xian sneered when he sensed the dark yin qi. T. Countless red threads flew out like fine sword marks and pierced toward Lin Xian. Lin Xian turned around and punched out. Thunder roared and the fierce power of thunder formed a thunder dragon that swept in all directions. The dark red threads were all broken and drowned by the sea of thunder. Whoosh! The moment Lin Xian punched out, a cloud of red mist appeared behind him. A pale hand held a demonic dagger and stabbed toward his back. Ding! Lin Xian's copper thunder rune shone brightly and dense thunder runes appeared on his body. At the same time, he twisted his body and swept his right leg behind him like a heavenly blade. The dagger was blocked by the copper thunder rune and turned into a blood mist again. Lin Xian's right leg passed through the blood mist without causing any damage. Whoosh! Whoosh! The blood mist rolled and Blood Red's body appeared. Blood seemed to be dripping from his red lips. It was extremely seductive. Fire. He opened his mouth for the first time. As if there was an invisible magic, flames suddenly burst out from both sides of the path. In an instant, the path turned into a sea of fire. Illusion. Lin Xian was alert. He had only seen eye techniques before. He did not expect to see another soul technique this time. The sea of fire surged as if it was going to devour Lin Xian. Whoosh! A sword light rushed up and cut the sea of fire in half. Soul Sword. Blood Red was shocked for the first time. Fire Beast Blood Devour. A drop of blood seemed to float out from his red lips and fell into the sea of fire. Brr. Suddenly a low roar sounded. Dozens of ferocious and terrifying demonic beasts appeared in the surroundings. Flames danced on their bodies and huge beast claws pounced toward Lin Xian. The soul sword waved again and killed all the demonic beasts near him. However, more and more flaming demonic beasts pounced over. Sword Spirit Space. Lin Xian's right eye shone and formed an independent spiritual world that sucked in all the demonic beasts in the sea of fire. The soul sword stabbed out again and quickly slashed toward Blood Red. Poof! Blood Red did not expect Lin Xian's soul attack to be so exquisite. It could actually destroy his flaming demonic beasts in an instant. Due to his carelessness, he was injured. His body shook and the fire world retreated. Blood Red stood in front of him with a pale face. Let me show you my blood demon technique. Chapter 221. A drop of blood appeared in the air, carrying with it an endless murderous aura. Ru Shue's arms swayed as she whispered. The blood spread quickly, forming a strange pattern. Blood demon, come out. A low roar reverberated in the air, causing the void to vibrate with a buzzing sound. The pattern in the air shone brightly, emitting a dazzling red light. Then a blood-red arm stretched out like a demon from hell. Finally, a ferocious blood demon appeared in front of Lin Xian. The blood demon was shaped like a human, but it had 4 arms and a horn on its head. Blood dripped from its body. Ru Shue stood in the distance, her red lips slightly opened, emitting a strange sound wave. Buzz. The blood demon suddenly moved, charging at Lin Xian. Its 4 arms kept waving, forming a sky full of fist shadows. Lin Xian punched out like thunder. The terrifying energy smashed into the blood demon's body, creating ripples. A bowl-sized hole appeared on its body, but most of Lin Xian's fist power was absorbed by the flowing liquid on the blood demon's body. Moreover, the hole was healing quickly. Not only that, but the blood demon's greatest characteristic was that it was not afraid of pain. It's a killing machine. Brr. The blood demon roared, and its 4 arms formed different shapes, forming a huge attack. Bang. Boom. Clang. Lin Xian attacked with all his might, clashing with the blood demon. Terrifying energy spread in all directions. For a moment the two were in a deadlock. I'm going to take your head. Ru Shui laughed evilly. Purple Extreme Demon Palace is nothing more than this. Lin Xian sneered. Lightning storm. Golden electric arcs surged and strong winds blew. Lightning flashed and thunder rumbled. The blood demon was hit by the lightning and screamed. Sizzle. Sizzle. Like ice meeting fire, it kept melting. Under the effect of the golden electric arcs, terrifying wounds appeared on the blood demon's body. Whoosh. The blood demon retreated and stood beside Ru Shui. Impossible. My blood demon is not afraid of ordinary lightning. Ru Shue's face darkened as she looked at the golden electric arcs with fear. How dare you hurt my blood demon? I'll kill you. I've already killed quite a few disciples of the Purple Extreme Devil Palace. One more won't make a difference. Lin Xian said disdainfully. Show me what you've got. What? How dare you kill a disciple of my Devil Palace? Ru Shue's pupils shrank. I want to drink your blood, eat your flesh, and make you fall into hell forever. Fuse. His body swayed and turned into a cloud of blood mist that fused into the blood demon's body. In an instant, two cold glints appeared in the blood demon's eye sockets. Ka. The blood demon shook its body, and the wound caused by the golden lightning arc quickly healed. Not only that, the aura on his body was much more powerful, almost reaching the 7th layer of the spiritual ocean tier. Now, I won't be afraid of your golden lightning anymore. Obediently accept your death. Ru Shui laughed nastily and his body turned into a bloody afterimage. Whoosh. In the blink of an eye he appeared in front of Lin Xian. His 4 arms danced quickly, and a terrifying attack enveloped Lin Xian's entire body. Hong long. Golden lightning surged out and turned into a lightning beast, baring its fangs and brandishing its claws. It's useless. Ru Shui laughed loudly. He clenched his fists and punched the lightning beast, smashing it into pieces. Lin Xian frowned, and his eyes gradually became fierce. In the next moment a sword light flashed. Like a graceful swan, it turned into a strange arc in the air. Ru Shui screamed and retreated in horror. This is sword intent. Damn it, you're a sword cultivator. A terrifying sword mark appeared on his chest, almost splitting him in half. Let's end this. Lin Xian's sword intent kept rising. The dragon-shaped mark in his body glowed, and a dragon head roared. A sword slashed out as if a dragon's roar sounded. The sword light was extremely fast and instantly enveloped Ru Shui. Piu. Countless sword lights appeared in all directions, sharp to the extreme. 3 of Ru Shui's 4 arms were broken, and his chest was hit again. No, I don't want to die. Blood demon body disintegration technique. Ru Shui shouted in horror. The blood demon exploded, forming thousands of bloodlines that rushed in all directions. Many of them drilled into the ground and stone walls, disappearing. Lin Xian did not attack again. That sword strike had severely injured Ru Shui, and he would not be able to fight for at least half a year. He put away his long sword and continued to walk forward. At that moment, there was a sudden sound of something breaking through the air behind him. Lin Xian stopped and turned around. Whoosh. 2 figures landed. It was Jianghu and the short old man. The short old man looked at the sword marks around him and felt the remaining aura in the air. He said in a low voice, "What a sharp sword intent." Humph, big liar. Jianghu snorted. I'm not a liar. Lin Xian touched his chin and said with a smile. I didn't expect you to be a sword cultivator. The younger generation will surpass us in time. The short old man looked at Lin Xian and praised. You flatter me. Lin Xian smiled. It's dangerous ahead. Why don't we go together? He could see that the short old man had no ill intentions. Lin Xian also felt that Jiang Ryue's identity was not simple. After all, not everyone could take out a handful of spiritual fruits to feed a monkey. All right. The short old man smiled. Jiang Ryue, on the other hand, pouted angrily. She looked unhappy. The 3 of them moved forward quickly and finally reached the end. There was a thick wall in front of them, blocking their way. It's a dead end? The short old man was surprised. Lin Xian's eyes flickered. He observed carefully and found that the wall was unusually thick. Whoosh. He picked up the little white monkey and pinched its face with his fingers. There's no way out. What should we do? The snow-white monkey's face was distorted. It grunted in dissatisfaction and jumped into Jiang Ryue's arms. Wuji. The monkey gestured. What did it say? Jiang Ryue hugged the monkey and asked. It said it's behind this wall. Lin Xian shrugged. Then, the 3 of them began to search carefully. The short old man and Lin Xian even began to bombard the wall. However, the 2 of them did not dare to use too much strength. If the tunnel was destroyed, they would be doomed. Is there a mechanism? Lin Xian was puzzled. There's no mechanism. Let's go around it. Wine Lord transmitted his voice. Go around it? Lin Xian was puzzled. You know about the gopher, right? Wine Lord did not say much. Lin Xian's mouth twitched. He smiled bitterly. Why don't we dig a hole? In the other 2 tunnels, everyone was attacked by underground creatures. The tunnel on the left had countless fire lizards while the one on the right had fire scorpions. After all, Lin Xian's tunnel was the safest. However, the martial artists on both sides rushed out of the tunnel after a bloody battle. A vast underground world appeared in front of everyone. There were magma ravines and strange rocks. Heat waves surged out from time to time. There was a huge magma pool in the middle. It was bubbling and emitting a scorching heat. In the middle of the magma pool, there was a huge rock with a fiery red plant growing on it. Chapter 222. Everyone's eyes were burning as they stared at the red fruit on the lava. Dragon fruit. A warrior from the Lai family exclaimed as he clenched his fists tightly. Meng Yan's eyes lit up as if he had thought of something. His lips curled into a smile. He carefully stared at the red fruit in the distance. The fruit was oval-shaped with 4 protrusions on its skin, like 4 coiled dragons. It really is the fire dragon fruit. Meng Yan's expression was burning. Zhu Hao was pleasantly surprised. This is a 6th grade spirit fruit. Dragon fruit, a 6th grade spirit fruit. It was an extremely precious spirit fruit even in Xia country. He didn't expect to see it here. Get ready? A warrior from the Lai family shouted in a low voice. In an instant, 3 figures rushed out quickly. Swoosh, swoosh, swoosh. The 3 figures had powerful auras as they turned into light and flew out quickly. How dare you? When the martial artists of the other forces saw this, they also sent out their martial artists. Other than the people from the Earth Fire Sect and the Inscription Union, a total of 11 people rushed towards the dragon fruit. The bubbles in the magma churned and gradually boiled. A few warriors at the 5th sky of the spiritual sea realm had their spirit energy defense pierced by the splashing lava. Horrifying wounds appeared on their bodies. After struggling for a while, 3 warriors fell into the lava and screamed. But soon his heart sank. Hiss! Everyone sucked in a breath of cold air as they looked at the fiery red lava with fear. No one below the harmonious spirit realm would be able to escape from such heat. Hopefully they would succeed this time. Many warriors from different forces prayed. Idiot, how is that possible? Zhu Hao said disdainfully, this kind of spirit fruit can't be picked so easily. As if in response to his words, the lava suddenly surged with waves more than 5 meters high. Like a small waterfall, the fiery red lava exploded in the air. A few more screams sounded as a few warriors fell into the lava. The remaining warriors' faces changed as they activated their spirit energy to the extreme. A deep roar resounded in the air, echoing endlessly. A tall figure emerged from the lava, emitting a terrifying demonic aura. A crimson light lit up as if it wanted to tear the air apart. A dark red energy formed above the lava. Ping ping ping. The remaining martial artists were unable to change their direction in the air and were hit by these energies, falling into the lava one after another. Whoosh! The fiery red figure landed on the rock and looked at everyone with a ferocious expression. The expressions of the warriors on the shore changed again and again, especially the Lai family and the other families that had sent out warriors. They were heartbroken. Those were the elites of the family, yet they lost their lives just like that. What a heavy demonic aura. Meng Yan took a deep breath. Everyone looked at that figure with fear and subconsciously took 2 steps back. It was a 3-meter-tall demonic ape. Its entire body was fiery red, and its skin was like a crystal armor, emitting a dark glow. This aura is probably at the peak of the 5th rank. Deacon Wang sighed. A 5th-rank demonic beast was equivalent to a warrior at the 7th sky of Spirit Sea Realm. A peak 5th-rank demonic beast was close to the harmonious spirit realm. In addition, monstrous beasts were originally stronger than martial artists of the same level. Almost no one here was a match for the monstrous ape. As for the human wave tactic, it was even worse. Ordinary martial artists would not even be able to withstand a single blow from the monster ape. The scene just now was enough to explain this problem. 7 or 8 warriors, half of them were at the 6th sky of Spirit Sea Realm, yet they could not withstand a single blow from the monster ape. Are we going to give up just like that? Everyone was unwilling. That was a 6th-rank spirit fruit. Since the beginning of time, the harmonious spirit realm had always been a threshold that blocked most of the martial artists. Only a very small number of people were able to surpass it and become a true expert. However, with this kind of 6th-rank spirit fruit, there was a high chance that a warrior could enter the harmonious spirit realm. This was also the reason why everyone went crazy. Moreover, even if they could not enter the harmonious spirit realm, they could still advance by a small realm. No one would give up on such a spirit fruit. For a moment, everyone looked at the Earth Fire sect. It was a third-rank sect, and the leader was Meng Yan, the number 1 of the hidden dragon ranking. You should have a way. Feeling everyone's gaze, Meng Yan smiled. Everyone, if we want to get this spirit fruit, we will need everyone to work together. Young Master Meng has a way? Many warriors were delighted. Although this monster ape is ferocious, its intelligence is ordinary and not comparable to humans. We can use a trick to lure it away, Meng Yan said. While Meng Yan and the others were discussing, Lin Xian and the other 2 went around the stone door and came in. Be careful, there's lava ahead. Lin Xian's eyes flashed as he reminded them in a low voice. Let's get out quickly. Jianghu was feeling uncomfortable underground. Wait, let's check the situation first. Lin Xian was very cautious. Purple light flashed in his eyes as if it was going to pierce through the soil. Using his soul force, he sensed everything outside and transmitted it to Jianghu and the short old man. It's a dragon fruit. The short old man exclaimed, this is a 6th-rank spirit fruit. Lin Xian's pupils shrunk after hearing that. He naturally knew the magical effect of a 6th-rank spirit fruit. We must get it. Lin Xian's eyes flashed with excitement. You. Jianghu curled her lips. That demonic beast can kill you with one slap. Plus, there are so many warriors outside. So we can't go out. We have to hide in the dark. Lin Xian said with a smile, the 2 of you, don't tell me you're also thinking about the dragon fruit? Nonsense. Jianghu snorted. No way, you're so rich. You can take out a spirit fruit so casually. Why don't you give it to me? Lin Xian said with a smile. Go to hell. Jianghu was furious. It's not too late to say these words after we get it, the short old man said. The 3 of them hid carefully underground. Outside, Meng Yan and the others had already thought of a countermeasure. The group of people used a secret technique to lure the demonic ape away while their real bodies ran toward the dragon fruit. Old man, help me stop Meng Yan and I can give you 1/3 of the dragon fruit, Lin Xian said with a smile. The short old man looked at Lin Xian in surprise and said in a low voice, okay. Find me at the Inscription Alliance. Lin Xian released the snow-white monkey and was ready to retreat at any time. Meng Yan, the Lai family, and the other forces rushed toward the dragon fruit. Behind them, Hui Yuan's angry voice and the screams of the warriors could be heard. Oh no, that beast has noticed it. The warriors of the Lai family were shocked. Humph. Meng Yan's lips curled into a smile. His hand was about to touch the dragon fruit. However, in the next moment the dragon fruit disappeared. Meng Yan's eyes narrowed as he stared at the surroundings. The other warriors also exclaimed. Whoosh! A white figure flashed past at an extremely fast speed. The snow-white monkey hugged the dragon fruit and made a face at the crowd. Then with a whoosh it disappeared. It's that monkey. Damn it, chase it. Chapter 223. Meng Yan's eyes revealed a sinister killing intent. As the first on the hidden dragon roll, no one had ever dared to toy with him like this. Moreover, he would not allow this 6th-grade spirit fruit to fall into the hands of others because it was his guarantee to enter the harmonious spirit realm. Bang! A powerful aura exploded from Meng Yan's body, blowing away all the martial artists around him. How terrifying! This is the aura of the 7th level of the Spirit Sea realm. The martial artists from various factions were frightened and involuntarily took a few steps back. At this moment, the fire ape in the distance rushed over. Demonic aura filled the sky, pressing down on everyone like a mountain. Lava exploded, forming a pillar of flame that sprayed towards the martial artists nearby. Whoosh! For a moment, everyone dodged quickly. Flames flickered on Meng Yan's body. He punched the rising lava wave and flew towards the bulging ground in the distance. There, he felt the aura of the dragon fruit. Deliver the goods first. Looking at Meng Yan who was getting closer, the short old man said in a deep voice. All right. Lin Xian was very decisive. With a chop of his hand, he threw 1/3 of the dragon fruit to the short old man. Grabbing the snow-white little monkey, Lin Xian ran out of the passage. The short old man sighed in admiration and put away the dragon fruit. This child is exceptionally talented and decisive. He'll definitely become someone great in the future. Lin Xian's actions surprised the short old man. It was very rare to be able to keep calm in front of such a treasure. His body flashed and appeared on the ground, blocking Meng Yan. Get lost. Meng Yan was exceptionally furious when he saw Lin Xian run away. Great Flame Steel Fist. Meng Yan's fists turned into a glazed color like red agate, glowing with light. That power could shatter an ordinary martial artist at the 7th level of the Spirit Sea realm. However, the short old man was not afraid. He cupped his fists and drew a circle. A green light lit up, and a bright moon appeared in his hand. The gentle light contained a terrifying power. Chi. The great flame steel fist hit the bright moon. It was as if it hit water, causing ripples. The short old man's palm turned, and the bright moon in his hand shone even brighter. A majestic power surged out and repelled Meng Yan's fist. Meng Yan snorted coldly and didn't continue fighting. His body transformed into countless flaming lights that flew out in all directions. The short old man smiled and raised his hand. The bright moon in his hand expanded infinitely, filling up the surrounding space. Ding ding ding. All the flames were blocked. Meng Yan's body was revealed and he staggered back a few steps. "Don't force me to kill you." Meng Yan's voice was filled with killing intent. "Little fellow, be good and stay here with this old man," the short old man said with a smile. At the side, Jianghu blinked her big bright eyes and muttered softly. Boom. Another fiery red silhouette flashed by and quickly ran in the direction that Lin Xian had escaped to. "It's a fire ape," Jianghu exclaimed. The short old man sighed. He can only depend on himself. Even though he was strong, he wasn't a harmonious spirit realm warrior, and he didn't have the cloning technique, so he couldn't stop the fire ape. Boom boom boom. The ground was blasted apart, and scorching lava gushed out. A figure rushed out from the ground and kept changing positions in the air. "It's Lin Xian, he's the one who stole the dragon fruit." Swoosh. A group of warriors rushed forward and stared at Lin Xian with fiery eyes. However, no one dared to step forward. The fire ape's eyes were burning with fire, and its flaming big hand mercilessly covered Lin Xian. Swoosh. Lin Xian used the wind thunder step, creating hundreds of shadows to confuse the crowd. "Block the passage, don't let him escape," the Lai family's people shouted. Umph. Deacon Wang snorted and his aura burst out, blocking the crowd. At the same time, all the warriors of the Inscription Union stood beside Deacon Wang, staring at the Lai family's people with an unfriendly expression. "How dare you touch the people of the Inscription Union?" Deacon Wang said coldly. "Why wouldn't we dare? Zhu Hao, bring some people to stop Lin Xian." Meng Yan shouted. "Eldest senior brother, don't worry, we won't let that kid escape," Zhu Hao and the others said quickly. For a moment, Meng Yan was held back by the short old man, and the Lai family's people were shocked by the Inscription Union. However, Lin Xian's crisis did not lessen. The fire ape alone was enough to put him in danger. Fortunately, he did not need to kill the fire ape, he only needed to escape. Sword Soul Space. Lin Xian's right eye was filled with runes, forming a strong suction force, as if to suck the fire ape's soul away. Brr. The fire ape was stunned for a moment and its body stopped. Lin Xian took the opportunity to escape quickly. When the fire ape came back to its senses, Lin Xian had already escaped into the passage. The fire ape roared angrily, falling into madness. However, it did not enter the passage. Instead, it attacked the people in the cave. "Retreat, it's crazy." Countless warriors fled and the scene was extremely chaotic. After Lin Xian entered the passage, he increased his speed to the extreme, turning into a wind thunder shadow and moved forward quickly. Swoosh, swoosh. Suddenly, there was the sound of air breaking behind him, and 3 powerful auras approached quickly. Swoosh. The flame was like a long snake shooting toward Lin Xian. Lin Xian flicked his hand, shooting out a few sword chi which broke through the air. Chin. The sharp sword chi destroyed everything and dissolved the attack behind him. "Lin Xian, you can't escape," Zhu Hao yelled from behind. Whoosh. Lin Xian suddenly stopped, and the autumn scar sword appeared in his hand. Sword Soul Space. A strange soul attack rushed toward the 3 behind him, causing their minds to go blank for a moment. Wind Thunder Sword Wave. He stabbed out and the sword chi was like a wave rushing out quickly. Puff, puff. The 3 screamed and horrifying sword wounds appeared on their bodies. Lin Xian put away his long sword, turned around and left. Zhu Hao and the other 2 did not dare to attack again. At that moment they felt the danger of death. Obviously Lin Xian could kill them easily. Looking at Lin Xian's back, the 3 sighed and started to treat the wounds on their bodies. Lin Xian escaped from the underground tunnel and came up to the surface. Without stopping, Lin Xian ran toward the mountain in the distance. Half a day later, he came to an uninhabited mountain range and opened up a cave. Wuji Wuji. The little white monkey jumped out and kept gesturing. Okay, I got it, Lin Xian said. He took out the dragon fruit and divided it into 2 halves and gave 1 half to the little white monkey. This was what they had discussed beforehand. The little white monkey would steal it, and Lin Xian would be in charge of escaping. When it was done, the two would split it equally. The little white monkey ate happily, while Lin Xian took out the 1,000-year snow lotus, put it together with the dragon fruit and gave it to Wine Lord. Don't worry, I will definitely make a pot of ice fire raging flames wine for you. Wine Lord laughed. A day later, Lord Alcohol succeeded in refining it. The ice fire raging flames wine was half ice and half fire. It was a mixture of ice and fire, containing a powerful energy. Lin Xian drank a cup, and his face immediately changed. It was as if there was a ball of fire burning inside his body. It was extremely hot, but also extremely cold, as if he had fallen into an ice cave. Chapter 224. The effect of ice and fire was perfectly manifested on his body. 2 completely opposite powers collided in his body. Lin Xian carefully guided this power, constantly changing it. 3 days later, the boulder blocking the cave split open with a loud bang, and a terrifying spirit energy wave gushed out from inside. The surrounding wind and clouds surged, forming a fierce wind with shocking momentum. Lin Xian slowly walked out with a smile on his face. He didn't expect the ice-fire raging flames wine to be so powerful, directly raising his cultivation from the 4th layer of the spiritual ocean realm to the 6th layer. And his strength increased by at least 5 times. Now, even if he met Meng Yan, he didn't need to blindly run away. With powerful sword intent and strange soul attack, he had the power to fight. It's time to leave. Lin Xian counted the days and found that it was very close to the battle of the inscription tower. I'll go pick up Zhao Shui first. His body flashed and he sprinted in the direction of Flame City. In Flame City, Lin Xian's appearance caused an invisible storm. Everyone knew that he had a 6th grade spirit fruit in his hands. That was something that all spiritual ocean realm martial artists would go crazy for. Countless pairs of eyes stared at him, and many people were ready to make a move. Lin Xian found Zhao Shui and quickly left Flame City. When the two left the city, they found that there were people secretly following them. Do you want me to deal with them? Zhao Shui asked. She continuously comprehended the stone's eyeball these few days, and her soul force also reached the level of a 2nd seal soul. It could be said that her strength increased by a large margin. Just clowns, don't worry about them. Lin Xian shook his head. Half a day later, the people behind caught up to them. There were a total of 3 people, all dressed in black and wearing masks. One of them had a powerful aura, reaching the 7th layer of the spiritual ocean realm. Zhao Shui's expression was grave. This kind of lineup, even with her 2nd seal soul force strength, was difficult to deal with. Who knew that Lin Xian didn't have the intention to let her make a move? He slowly walked out and said in a low voice, I'll give you a chance, get lost. Otherwise die. Brat, don't think that we won't dare to touch you just because you're from the Inscription Alliance. In this wilderness, even if you die, no one will suspect us brothers. Of all things you shouldn't have possessed a sacred item like the dragon fruit. The 3 masked martial artists laughed sinisterly. Noisy. Lin Xian's face turned cold, and his right fist suddenly blasted out. You're courting death. A black-clothed martial artist at the 6th sky of the spiritual ocean realm sneered, and the long saber in his hand suddenly slashed out. The saber light soared into the sky like a waterfall, bringing with it a gust of wind. Lin Xian's face was expressionless. Red copper lightning patterns appeared on his arm, and complex runes covered his entire fist. Crack. When the fist collided with the saber light, the ferocious fist directly shattered the resplendent saber light. Furthermore, the fist continued to charge towards the black-clothed cultivator. Crack. Bang. Under everyone's gaze, the black-clothed martial artist's long saber broke into 2 halves, followed by his protective shield and then his ribs. Thunder and lightning surged with terrifying power. The black-clothed martial artist at the 6th sky of the spiritual ocean realm turned into a pile of rotten meat, falling to the ground. The remaining 2 black-clothed martial artists gasped, looking at Lin Xian in horror. That was a martial artist at the 6th sky of the spiritual ocean realm. He was killed by 1 punch. Zhao Shui covered her mouth, her beautiful eyes filled with disbelief. At the same time, there was a strong sense of frustration in her heart. She originally thought that with the improvement of her soul power, the gap between her and Lin Xian would be reduced a lot. She didn't know that the gap between them was getting bigger and bigger. Lin Xian's cultivation not only reached the sixth sky of the spiritual ocean realm, but his strength was even more terrifying. To be able to shatter a martial artist at the sixth sky of the spiritual ocean realm with one punch, even a martial artist at the early stage of the seventh sky of the spiritual ocean realm might not be able to do it. Let's go together. He must have used a secret method to increase his power just now. The martial artist at the seventh sky of the spiritual ocean realm growled. The two quickly rushed towards Lin Xian, and simultaneously launched resplendent attacks. Dang! Lin Xian pulled out the Autumn Scar sword, and with a sword-drawing technique, he killed the martial artist at the sixth sky of the spiritual ocean realm. Wind Emperor's sword. Sword intent surged and Lin Xian stabbed out. The martial artist at the seventh sky of the spiritual ocean realm's pupils were dilated, and his face was still filled with disbelief. A sword hole appeared between his eyebrows and blood and brain matter kept gushing out. Boom! The martial artist fell to the ground. Zhao Shui stared at Lin Xian blankly, feeling like she was dreaming. That was a martial artist at the seventh sky of the spiritual ocean realm? How could he be as weak as a chicken? Lin Xian sheathed his sword, and the sword intent on his body disappeared, even the spirit power disappeared. The Wind Emperor's sword was already at 50%. He was very satisfied with that sword just now. Let's go. Lin Xian turned around, revealing a harmless smile. Zhao Shui nodded subconsciously and followed with a numb body. In the following days, martial artists kept coming to find them, and Lin Xian easily dealt with them. At night, the moon shone brightly. Lin Xian started a fire and roasted 2 wild boars. Zhao Shui rested her chin on her hands and looked at the fire with blurred eyes. Suddenly she frowned and looked at Lin Xian. Just sit. Lin Xian's voice was calm. After adding some charcoal to the fire, he looked into the distance. Over there, a tyrannical aura was rapidly approaching. Lin Xian stood up and waited quietly. Whoosh! A figure landed and the ground was smashed into pieces. Terrifying cracks spread in all directions, accompanied by a scorching heat. It's not Meng Yan. Lin Xian's voice had a trace of disappointment. Who do you think you are to make senior brother Meng fight? The person was very disdainful. My name is Han Jin and I'm here to take your life. With that, the young man pulled out the long spear on his back and then put it together. Suddenly, a sharp aura rose from his body. Spear force. Zhao Shui was shocked. You have good eyesight. Han Jin smiled proudly. This is great success spear force, and it's not weak even in terms of conception. Lin Xian was slightly interested. It seemed that 3-star sects were indeed extraordinary, and any one of them was a peak existence in the younger generation. Interesting, I hope you won't disappoint me. Lin Xian pulled out his long sword. Like a divine sword being unsheathed, a sharp aura spread from his body. Ding ding. Clang. The great dragon sword intent went against the great success spear force. The two invisible forces kept colliding in the air like thunder, creating terrifying ripples. Zhao Shui had a trace of worry in her heart. It was the first time she saw someone who could resist Lin Xian's sword intent, and his cultivation was at the 7th layer of the spiritual ocean tier, firmly suppressing Lin Xian. However, Lin Xian didn't seem to be afraid. Shio. Han Jin attacked first. His long spear shook and like a dragon coming out of the sea, it stabbed out fiercely. The air seemed to be torn apart, and the ground shattered and a terrifying crack appeared. This spear was extremely fierce. Wind Thunder Pierce. Lin Xian also stabbed out with his sword. Sword intent surged and a 10-meter-long sword chi crashed down, hitting the long spear. Chapter 225. Crack, crack. The surrounding rocks crumbled as the two forces turned into wind blades, destroying everything within a 50-meter radius. Zhao Shui's body was like duckweed as she floated into the distance. Fire kill. Han Jin twisted his long spear as a ball of dark red flame appeared on the tip of the spear. Although the flame was small, the energy it contained was shocking. As soon as it appeared, the entire space started to tremble. Lin Xian's pupils shrank. As a rune master, his soul power was outstanding. Naturally, he could feel the terror of that ball of flame. Break. The long spear surged, forming a horrifying flame attack. Using the wind thunder step, Lin Xian's body disappeared from the spot. He did not choose to take it head-on. It was not that he was scared. Sometimes retreating was a better way to attack. The sword light sliced through the air as if a dragon's roar was heard. The sharp sword pierced through the dark red flame, creating shocking sparks. Wind Emperor's sword. After thrusting out the sword, Lin Xian's sword art changed drastically, becoming erratic. Like a shooting star, this sword completely blended into the wind and disappeared without a trace. What? Han Jin's face changed drastically. Other than the battle with Meng Yan, this was the first time he felt danger from someone of the same generation. He could not even see Lin Xian's sword attack clearly, let alone block it. This guy is so young, but his sword art is so powerful. Han Jin's face darkened. He pulled back his long spear and waved it around, forming a wind and fire aura as he carefully defended. A slight vibration appeared in the air as a dazzling sword chi flew out, aiming at Han Jin's vitals. This sword light went through his defense and was about to land on his body. How is this possible? Han Jin's face changed again. He did not believe that Lin Xian could go through his defense. However, the truth was right in front of him. Fire Spirit Armor. Han Jin yelled as his body shone with a bright red light, as if there were flames flying out. On the surface of his body, a bright red spirit armor quickly formed, making him look like a fire god. Clack. The Autumn Scar sword landed on the fiery armor, causing a metallic sound to ring out. The great dragon sword intent was incomparably sharp. The autumn water-like sword light imprinted itself on Han Jin's face, causing his body to tremble. The flame armor shone brightly, but a small crack was still cut open. For Lin Xian this was enough. The great dragon sword will surged and quickly seeped into the armor. The fierce aura began to destroy the flaming spirit armor. Get lost. Han Jin's heart trembled. The spiritual energy in his body surged, forming a binding force. He wanted to trap Lin Xian's long sword. At the same time he swung his fist and punched out. His fist, which was as big as a sandbag, glowed with the color of magma. It was like a piece of red-hot iron that carried a terrifying temperature. This punch came from the bottom, heading straight for Lin Xian's head. If he was hit, he would die immediately. However, Lin Xian obviously wouldn't sit still and wait for death. When Han Jin made his move, he had already made his move. On his arm, the copper thunder mark appeared. The violent power of thunder and lightning pulsed like thunder from the 9 heavens, exploding loudly. The thunder and lightning flashed and landed on the fiery fist, creating a sound like a flash flood. In the distance, Zhao Shui frowned and retreated again. A moment later, the ground where she was originally standing exploded with a loud bang, and everything was charred black. After the explosion, Han Jin's blood boiled. The pain caused his face to turn pale. His arm went numb and he lost all feeling. Impossible. You're a sword cultivator. How can your body be so strong? Han Jin screamed. He was really stunned. From what he knew, sword cultivators had powerful attacks that far surpassed those of the same level. But correspondingly, their defensive system was very weak. Many swordsmen wore high-grade armor to make up for this weakness. Han Jin knew this, which was why he didn't attack Lin Xian's heart and other parts. However, Lin Xian directly competed with him in terms of physical strength and far surpassed him. After a successful attack, Lin Xian's long sword stabbed again. The great dragon sword intent attacked again. Lin Xian seemed to have a dragon head behind him. Poof! A thumb-sized hole was cut open on the flaming spirit armor, and blood spurted out. Whoosh! Han Jin endured the pain in his body and quickly retreated. He didn't dare to get close to Lin Xian and could only stay far away. You dare to hurt me? I'll fight you. Han Jin's eyes were burning with anger. Even when he fought with Meng Yan, he hadn't suffered such an injury. The spiritual power in his body circulated wildly, and the flames on his body emitted a 3-feet-long light. Umph! Lin Xian snorted. Bang! Poof! A low rumbling sound came from Han Jin's body, like beans being fried. Then he spat out a mouthful of blood. His face was as pale as paper and fine beads of sweat covered his body. You, Han Jin half knelt on the ground, gasping for breath. Just a moment ago, the remaining golden lightning in his body had exploded, causing him to suffer internal injuries. Now the spiritual power in his body was chaotic, and he couldn't even use half of his strength. You're strong, but it won't be so easy next time. Han Jin swallowed a few life-saving pills and said fiercely. You think I'll let you go? Lin Xian laughed in anger. This guy wanted to kill him first, and now he dared to say such harsh words after losing. You dare to kill me? I'm a core disciple of the Earth Fire sect. Han Jin screamed. He never thought that someone would dare to touch someone from the Earth Fire sect. I won't kill you, but I'll teach you a lesson. Lin Xian said coldly. This isn't a free dojo and I'm not your sparring partner. I'll give you a choice. Leave behind your storage ring or your hand. Feeling Lin Xian's cold gaze, Han Jin was really afraid. He didn't doubt that Lin Xian would dare to kill him. However, he was unwilling to hand over his storage ring. All of his belongings were in there. 3, 2, 1. Lin Xian counted in a deep voice and slowly raised the long sword in his hand. Storage ring. Han Jin screamed. He took off the dark red ring, threw it on the ground and quickly ran away. Sucking the storage ring into his hand, Lin Xian probed it with his soul power, and a trace of joy appeared on his face. As expected of a 3-star sect, their wealth was abundant. There were nearly 1 million low-grade spirit stones, several mystic class martial arts, and a spiritual class low-grade martial arts. Among them there were 3 high-grade mortal class artifacts, and 1 low-grade mystic class artifact. This was almost all of Lin Xian's wealth before he entered the underground world. I really hope that this kind of person comes a few more times, Lin Xian said indifferently. Zhao Shui walked over and helplessly rolled her eyes at him. For you. Lin Xian threw a short sword to Zhao Shui. Low-grade mystic class artifact. Zhao Shui exclaimed, her face full of surprise. Everyone has a share, Lin Xian shrugged. He was now very rich, so he didn't care about a low-grade mystic class artifact. The foot-long short sword was dark red, and under the moonlight, it glowed like a bloodthirsty eye. You're tuning in to the Han Li's Wuxia Adventures YouTube channel. We're so grateful for your support, and don't forget to subscribe to join us on this incredible journey through captivating stories. Your generosity through donations truly makes a world of difference, as it's the primary source of revenue that allows me to expand and enhance this channel for you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for being a part of this adventure.